open up the sports.sql script. You must have picked it up from Blackboard last week. If you haven't, it's on Blackboard under weekly learning. Okay, so under weekly learning, you will find it. And once you have it, please see that you open it up and we'll work on this. So, okay, so this is summer 2017 and Wednesday. So it was called sports_blackboard.sql.
You downloaded it.
I think you downloaded it last week. I'm not sure, but it was already on Blackboard.
Well, it was in week 10.
Week 10? Week 10? Okay, yeah, thank you. It's in the week 10 folder, Bradley says. Yeah, we have to. But that's okay. I mean, that's what we have to do and we have to do it. So if I get time, I'll give you more examples. I'll give you more things to do, okay? But again, it depends upon time. Or I'll just give it to you. You can practice it for your exam. It really depends upon you. The onus is entirely on you. I try my best. The rest depends upon you, how much you practice and what effort do you put in. Okay, so we are in August now. It is available on Blackboard. Check when it came. It should say something because Bradley said it's week 10. I'm hoping that's what it is, but you can double check. Okay. So again, we'll again do joins and subqueries. That's all about right now. All kind of joins, outer and inner. If I have time, I'll also kind of replace it with natural join or whatever I can show you. Also subqueries, and then I'll tell you what is more efficient. Again, so that you know what means, how important it is to be efficient in your queries. You have to be. You're working with databases that have huge tables with trillions of records. You can say, oh, it doesn't matter. It does matter, right? Because execution time does matter. And nobody has patience these days. Even you don't have patience. Nobody has patience, right? Because when we click on something, we want the results within nanoseconds. That's what we want. And if the execution time is not taken care of when queries are written, you can't expect it. And again, remember, there may be many people working on the same website trying to retrieve results. So like airlines, right? When you try to book an airline ticket, there are so many people who are accessing the website at the same time. Maybe their destinations are same or different, and you're trying to retrieve the same information. So it is important that your queries be efficient. They should be written well. Okay, so once you have this, keep in mind, I have now been working with InnoDB because foreign keys are only enforced in InnoDB. So see that your storage engine is set properly. Don't rely on my laptop or don't rely on any server that you work. You always put your environment properly. Okay, so these ones I just put them. Even if I'm not using an updates, I think if you don't need an update, that is not required. It's just a copy and paste of my SQL statements. What I have here is I've kind of given way from I've given up writing comments again to save time, but don't forget in your assignments, right? I've said, please give your name, date, and purpose at the head, and then document each section. So you could count this as a section, set the environment, right? You could count this as a section, drop database and create a new one. So this is a section, you're working with it and so on. So see that you put your comments. Comments will always have marks and it takes me time to go through them. Yes.
Where's this sports file?
Bradley tells me it's on Blackboard under week 10.
No, I don't see it.
You don't see it?
It's a zip file.
It's a zip file. Yeah, it's a zip file. I gave you a few files together.
Yeah, I unzipped and then put them in a new folder.
Yeah, under joins and subqueries. Exactly. It should be under joins and subqueries. Right? Because we are doing joins and subqueries.
Yeah, so joins and subqueries, you download the zip file, you unzip, then carefully put them in.
Got it? Okay.
Sorry, my throat is a bit hoarse. I'm trying not to get sick. Don't want to repeat what happened last semester.
Where is it? Oh, there it is. Join and subqueries. There it is under week 10. Bradley was right.
No, I was just looking for like.
Yeah, you were just looking for sports dot. No, I had zipped a few files. Remember my contacts 2, and so on. The other ones, they are scripts that we were making. So we've been working on them. I don't know. Week 9 was normalization, so definitely week 10. Okay, once you have it, please unzip it. Please get it here, and then we'll look at it. So what this is about, this database, as you see, is about sports, right? I thought I'll do it first if you can kind of, If you know things, then it's easy to understand tables. But anyway, here is some information. There is information about players, the penalties they make, the captain of each team, and so on and so forth. So we'll start with the first table. The first table, again, it has been copied, so it may not be the best, but we can critique it as we go on. So, so it's just a players table in which we have a player name. I've made it an int. You could have done an auto increment, but again, as I said, I just copied it and I didn't bother to do it. The birth date, if you see, is not null. I mean, it's not required. The house number, postal code, and so on. And again, these fields are not how I usually name my fields. I use the underscore, but this is another way of doing it. There's nothing wrong in it. Those are the two conventions, and I just stuck to it, right? This table is in the third normal form. Definitely, it is in the first normal form. It has a primary key. I don't see any repeating groups. I don't see any non-atomic fields. And since there is only one field for your key, remember second and third says every key is fully dependent. That is normal form 2, takes care of it. And there is no non-transitive relation, and I don't see any non-transitive relation. Now, I'm not sure, maybe the league number should not be null. What do you say? Because I'm not a sports person at all, but league number is the matches you play, right? So according to me, it should not be null, but I have not touched it at all. I mean, if you want, you can make it not null. When you start working with bigger tables or more than one tables, then it's difficult to create your own tables. Then you just pick them up from the web, right? And you practice them. Here is the teams. The teams table says it's a team number. There is a captain of the team, of course, and the captain is an int because this is the player number of this player here, right? So every captain is also a player. So the int here is saying, oh, so this captain is related to the player number. And see, for the first time, I have not done this before, but I've always mentioned it. But for the first time, you see that a field is named captain. It is different from the field name in the other table, but the reference is there. And that can happen. It's just referencing it. So a captain is a player. We know that. I mean, he has to be a player. So therefore, it is saying that this foreign key captain is going to reference the player number in the table players label. So there is a team number. The team number is the primary key. There is a captain and there is a division, right? Then comes the third table, which is talking about matches. So there is a match number and there is a team number, which definitely will reference the team number from the above table. There is the reference, right? And there is a player number, which will again reference the player number from the players table. There is the reference, right? And then there is won and lost. So how many were won and how many were lost? So that's information about matches of a particular team and a particular player, okay? So the primary key is the match number here. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one is talking about penalties. The payment number, again, is an int. It's not an auto increment key, but it is the primary key. And again, the player number here is referencing its value from the table of players. And what does this tell you? How many penalties were made by this player number, right? So player payment number and so on. What is the payment date and what is the amount? This, I think we should go with unsigned here. Right, the date is the date it was made and payment number. So a particular player can have any number of penalties, right? It will just have a different payment number. A player makes more than one penalties. And I didn't make the combination player number and payment number as primary key. I choose not to. Why? Because the date and the amount will be different. But so a particular player makes a penalty maybe 10 times in a match or on different dates or whatever. I can put it together. Because again, I lose my first normal form. I can't have duplicates of the same field, right? So it's what it is. And then is the committee members. And I've kind of made a note here from my understanding. I've said a player can be a member of only one committee at a time, right? But can hold different positions at different times. So a particular player, when I do the queries, this information is required. Because when you answer queries, you should know this information. So I've written it there according to what I understood. I've said a player can be a member of only one committee at a time. So the player number can't occur in more than one, right? But he could have taken or she could have taken different positions at different times. So I join a committee now. I'm a member for 2 years. I go to another committee, I'm a member for 2 years. So notice how there is a begin date. So the player number and the begin date together are your primary key. So this player number started on this date in this committee. And then the position says, what was your position in that particular committee? Looks like position is a reserved word because notice how it is in blue, right? I wouldn't again use reserved words in my field names. It doesn't complain, MySQL just doesn't complain. But again, why should you do it? You could have called it position held or something. I won't change it because then I have to change it in many places. So I'll leave it alone. Okay, but that's what the position is. No? Yeah, but it is a reserved word. If it is in blue, that means it is a reserved word. That's the inference. Try to use name, it will happen the same. So exam, you're using exam, so maybe it doesn't highlight it. But definitely on VAMP, if it is in blue, it definitely means it is a reserved word. We've tried that before with name, and I know about name, I'm not sure about position. And then come data in table players. Again, this is just a different way of doing it. Inserting together is what I've been doing, but we see whatever, 10 or 15 insert statements. Perfectly fine, can be done. Then comes the table teams, and then the table matches. And of course, if you kind of just look at it, they don't make any sense at all. Like you have no clue what I'm talking here, 11631. Doesn't make sense because it has a team number, it has a player number, and so on and so forth. And then comes the penalties, and then at the end come the, oh, so what is null? Second field is null. Third field is null. So let me see, I didn't make it not null by any chance. Oh, yep, that makes sense. The ending date is not null. You may still be a member of a committee and therefore you don't have an end date. Okay, so there is where you see a null value. So if you see a null value in the end date, that means the person is currently holding that position. So therefore there is not null here. There is no not null here. The position I would go with not null, but I mean, everybody who's in a committee will have a position, but I'll leave it alone. Right? So the positions, if you notice, are chairman, member, secretary, member, and so on. So everybody does have a position. So if that's member is a position, you're just a member. So I would say not null, but again, I'll stick to what I have. It's better to just stick to what it is. And then I just do a select all. So please run this script to see that it runs properly before we start giving our queries. So if I've made any, I did a league number, not null. Okay. Okay, so thank you for that. So that means somewhere in the data, it was null. It is. Therefore, it's saying cannot be null. And league was in, there it is. So please remove it. Please remove the not null at line number 33. That was me doing it. I thought league number should be not null. But if the data is what it is, I won't touch it. Right? I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah, I didn't change it.
Which is good, which is fine. Right? Yep. So if you're okay, then your script should run. Give it a go again. There it is. So you should have 5 tables. So that's your players table, the biggest table, like your contacts. Then comes the teams. So there are 3 teams, team number 1, 2, and 3, and their captains are 6, 27, and 112. There are definitely some players in the first table. There should be a 6, there should be a 27, and there should be 112. If you try to put some data that is not here, but you try to insert it here, you should get a foreign key constraint failure. Right? That's what foreign keys are. Please keep in mind that's what foreign keys are. Foreign key value is referencing a value in another table. So it should already be present there. And if you don't use InnoDB, this enforcement is not done by MyISAM. So we don't want to use MyISAM. So just use InnoDB. We should have used InnoDB right from day 1, but at that point of time, foreign keys were something that would be Greek to you, so I didn't even mention it. Okay, and just for your information, MySQL 5.7 onwards, that is the default storage engine, which you can always change. You can change it for tables if you want. You can change it for the whole script. You can create tables in different storage engines. They all have pros and cons, right? Every storage engine has its advantages and disadvantages. So there's no set rule. But InnoDB kind of looks satisfactory out there when I read about it. But that doesn't mean that it is the best. Okay. Also, if DreamHost, I found out, is still running on 5.6, MySQL 5.6. So it's still behind. They haven't updated it. So a couple of students in the other class were having problems with foreign keys, and we found out that it was running on an older version. Also, though we don't need it, I mean, we are fine, but keep in mind when you drop tables in MySQL, right now I just have them where I have them. I just put them before I create the table. But keep something in mind if you're working on a server, right? Because you should only drop parent tables after you've dropped children tables. Now, what is this parent and child? Children table means if it is making a reference, right? It has foreign keys and it is making reference. And these tables from which it is making reference are called parent tables. So before you drop tables, keep in mind you can draw a parent table if there are children tables that are referencing values from them. It will create problems. because you've said, oh, check my foreign keys. So it's okay here because this I've already done this setting. I'm not sure if any of you are having a problem. There were students in other sections. So I kind of made them set their foreign keys off first. And then I said, now set them on again before you create them. So if you have a problem which says, I cannot drop a parent table before children table, please understand what it means. It's very logical. You can say, drop the parent and there are children dependent upon it. So if you want to drop tables, you should be dropping children table first and then the parent table, logically, right? So the children are done, they're finished, and then you drop the parent table. So logically, things may happen which are not happening on our environment because it's been set as it is. And MySQL's default environment is taking care of it. This problem did arise on DreamHost. So I see problems. The other class has couple of 3 or 4 people working on DreamHost. I don't think any of you works on DreamHost here. Anybody who does work on DreamHost here? No, so I think you don't encounter these problems, but they do, and it's logical. Then I try to find out what is going on. And I'm just pointing it out to you because it's logical that if you need to draw up a table, and I didn't bother, see, I just drop it before I create it. But the logical rule is drop a child first before dropping a parent. And a child table is that table that has foreign keys referring to some other table. That's the relationship. Okay, we call them parent and child. And that's what you will see in error messages. Okay, so let's start now. So I'll make my table a little smaller. And we'll start answering queries. And again, I'll try my best to answer them as I've written them because I've already kind of tested them. I'll answer them. It says find the name and initial of the players. So before we begin, please do so you've already run it once. It was called DB Sports, I think. Please create your diagram because it is handy. So DB Sports is SPQRST. There it is, DB Sports. Double check that you don't have anything else checked. And do a next, and a next, and execute, and next, and a finish. So I'm using where it shows me which fields are related. And again, try to put your tables so that they are neat. That means you can read them completely. So the ones that I'm using, it shows me which field is related to which field. So notice how player number from here is connected to player number here, and the player number from here is connected to player number here, and so on. So if whatever you want, whatever, it's just important that we have the diagram. Then it's easy to kind of say, oh, which tables do I need? Okay, so let's come back to the query. The query says, find the name and initials of the players. So definitely table players, right? That is where that data is. For whom at least one penalty has been paid. Oh, so this is a penalty table. So which tables do I need? To get the name and the initials, I need the players table. To get the penalties, I need the penalties. So these 2 tables are what I need to do. So I've said I'll show it to you using an inner join, an outer join, and a subquery so that you have practice in everything. So let's start with inner join. So if you would like, since I've done it, if you like, you can take the field names from me, or you can just kind of keep going back to the table. Okay, so we want the player name. I'm kind of giving the alias name P because whenever I join tables and there is ambiguity, then it's kind of clear. You don't have to till it is required. So P is for my player, okay? So these are the fields. They are called player name and initials. And now the 2 tables I want to join. The 2 tables I want to join are called table players. That was my first one. And I've given it an alias name P, right? And my second table, you can use the word inner join if you like. I'll use commas today because I haven't done it. So you'll say, oh, can't we do it? So I've usually gone with the word. And the table penalties I'm calling PN. So these are the 2 tables I want to join. Don't forget your joining condition, right? Because I'm not writing the word inner join. I may forget on, but don't forget it. It's a major thing. It is a 0 everywhere because answers will be incorrect. Okay. So now where? So put your joining conditions. So to look at the joining conditions, you can always go back here if you can't remember it. And I'm talking about penalties and I'm talking about table players. Do you see the common field? The common field is player number, right? So that's what you will join on. You could do a natural join. The field name is same. You have to do it in equality. You could have done it. There's nothing wrong in it. So do what makes sense to you, right? If you want to use natural join here, then I don't even have to write a where condition. Right now, if I have to write it, I'll say P dot player number. And again, if you would like to use it, oops, and PN dot player number. So definitely you can use a natural join. Natural join means field names are same and you're doing it on equality. So you're joining the two tables. You are saying, okay, join player with the penalties table. Wherever they see a match of player number, it will come out. That's what you want, the initials and the player name. Now, before running it, we'll check if it runs. But if you think about it, a player can make more than one penalties, right? So his name and his initials will appear more than once, definitely. Because a player can make more than one penalties, logically, you'll see them again. So use distinct to begin with, but if you don't want to, before you start, you can always see and then say, oh, this player is appearing more than once. And logically, he or she will because there could be more than one penalties. So pick this up and execute it. Oh, okay, so something is wrong. Penalties spelling is wrong. No, yes, definitely it is wrong. Penalties. There it is. Am I right now? Yes. And there it is. So that's the name of the player and that's the initials. They don't look bad. The column headings are not bad, but you can always replace them by player blank name and player initials, right? If you want to. So if you notice, I do see Collins has and Baker has 3 and Colin has 2. So after you look at it, you could always put a distinct if you like, right? That's all you need to do. Or you can leave it like this if nothing is mentioned. But all you want to know is the name and you could say, oh, how do I find out that there are 3 for Baker? That's a different thing. If you want to find out how many, then we'll have to do a count. That can be done. So whatever works or whatever is asked, and all I need to do is I need to put distinct in front of it. And putting it in front of 1 is more than enough, because if name is distinct, automatically initial will only occur once. You don't have to put a distinct in front of each other. Right? So it only works with player name. It's not taking care of everything, but logically, if name is distinct, the player number will only occur. The initials will only occur once. Quite obvious. Right? So now if you run it, it will only occur once. So Collins and Baker will only occur once. And there it is. Right? And that's a join. And that's one way of doing a join. And there are many more ways to do it. I'll just write one more and then I'll leave the rest to you. The one that I was talking about, natural join. The advantage of natural join is you don't need your where condition. But there is a restriction. The restriction says the field names should be same in both the tables, and you're only doing it on equality. Only then can you replace it. Natural join only works when the field names, notice at line number 163, are the field names the same? Yes, they're both called player number in both the table. Yes, and are you doing it on equality? Yes, then you can do it. Okay, otherwise you can't use natural join. I mean, it won't work. Okay, now, how efficient is this? In terms of efficiency, now there could be hundreds of players in my players table. Not all of them may have penalties. Maybe half of them, maybe 1/4. I don't know how it works, but or maybe all of them, who knows, right? But logically, we say we have a number of players, and not all of them have penalties. So when you make a join, it's basically saying, first record says hello to everybody, second record says hello to everybody, and then out of those, you choose the where condition, right? So why do it? It would be better if I can pick up the penalties table, because that's the persons who have penalties, those are the players who have penalties, and then look for them in the players, right? That would be more efficient. So if I want to do that, then I use a outer join. So I say, take the penalties table, try to find a partner. Everybody will find a partner. And give me his name and initials. So saying that would be much better. So let's do an outer join, which will be more efficient. Now I'm not expecting you to kind of answer queries in the exam, at least, which is more efficient and which is not efficient, because again, it comes with practice. But there it is. Also, please keep in mind, you can use a group by instead of distinct if you like. You can do it. We've talked about it, because group by just groups them. distinct to me seems more natural. If you want to use group by, you could have done group by. So instead of the word distinct, you could have said group by. How will you group them by? Their names are same or their numbers are same. By player name is how you will have to, or number will also do because their player numbers are same. You could do it. I'll avoid it, but here it is for you. I just don't like, I just don't feel it, like, to me it seems natural to put distinct, but you can always say group by instead of distinct, not both of them, right? Not both of them, of course. And we are doing a join, so you can pick up the player number from wherever, really doesn't matter. And this is instead of distinct, right? Not both of them. It's just grouping. Grouping does what? Makes groups and then shows you value only once. That's what group by does. So if that's more comfortable for you, it's up to you. But don't put both of them. I mean, then they become redundant. Don't write redundant code. Okay. So you could, but I'll stick to what I am. So here, so my aim is, I think efficiency wise, if I know who's made the penalties, and then all I'm asking them, what's your name, what's your initial, I'm better off, because that table hopefully is smaller than the all players, right? Because I'm thinking, who knows? Okay, so that means I have to do an outer join for sure. And we'll kind of, I'll copy this. And I won't need distinct here. I may. We'll think about it. We'll do a left outer join of this table. You can do a right outer join. And make a left outer join. So the table that you want is a smaller table. Otherwise, the efficiency is lost. The smaller table comes on the left in a left outer join and comes on the right in a right outer join. Right? So put the smaller table on the left if you're using a left outer join, put it on the right if you're using the right outer join. Because you're saying try to find a partner of this in the other table. And everybody will find a partner. Keep that in mind. I don't have to check, or do you have a partner or don't you have a partner? Are you null or are you not null? I don't have to do it because everybody in the penalty table will find a partner. Okay, so they've found the partners now. Of course, in outer join, it will give you a syntax error unless you give your condition. So that's kind of neat, right? And so what is your joining condition? That's your joining condition. So outer join reminds you to give the joining condition. The inner join will not remind you. It just says, oh, you're doing a join. That's okay, right? So now what I'm saying is try to look. So take the penalty record, the first record, join it with the players. The partner will be found. You don't have to say where it is not equal to null. The partner will be found. And then this is your joining condition and your job is done. And I think we'll need distinct again because a player may have more than one penalty. So anytime you want, he'll do it, it will come. So you'll need it again, definitely. So let's test it. And we had a few, I can't remember all of them, but definitely there were 2 Collins and there were 3 Bakers. So there they are. Right? Same result. I get the same result. And again, you see that there are duplicates, and there will be because a player can make more than one penalties, can have more than one penalties. And add distinct and you're done. So that is definitely more efficient, assuming that the penalties are less than the number of players. Not all players are making penalties. But that's the assumption. So as you grow in this field of database and you work with it more and more, you'll become better programmers. Definitely, right? Experience counts a lot. So hopefully in the real world, this will help you. Right? So the same thing can be done with a right outer join. All you have to do is swap your tables. That's all you have to do. So the trick in an outer join is keep your smaller table on the left in the left outer join and on the right in the right outer join. Unless I say write a right outer join, then you have to bother, right? Now, if I had swapped them, then it was a different story altogether. Because in players, I could have extra records that have not made a penalty. Then I would have to put an extra where condition. Oh, did you find a partner? That's more work. Why would I do it? More of extra where condition means extra time. Why would you do it? So if you had swapped these tables, then your answer wouldn't be the same, right? See, it should make sense to you. And hopefully with practice and with your assignment, you will get it. I'm just going to swap the tables. and logically think what I've done. So I've said that players try to find a partner in the penalties table. Now, if I try to do that, try to find a partner, you may not find partners, right? A particular player may not find partners. They may have not done any penalty. So look at what I have now. Look at what I'll have. So I'll just put a star here just so that you can see what I have. And I'll put this in comments, right? And I'll run it for you. And look at everything I have. Logical, right? I said pick up the players table and try to find a partner in the penalty table. If it found a partner, it came up. If it didn't find a partner, all these fields were none. Because not every player may have made a penalty. So if you are doing it this way, then you'll have to put an extra where condition. Only pick up those records where the payment number is not none. Only the ones that have a payment, they have to make a penalty. So you'll have to do extra work, which is, if that's fine by you, it's no big deal. But what will you have to do? You'll have to put a where here. You'll have to put a where. So that's my joining condition, but my player number, my payment number, PN is coming, there is where it is coming for, though you don't have to say it. Because there's no ambiguity. Your payment, it was called payment number, is not null. Only pick up those ones. See, only pick up those ones. Because I only want to pick up those players that have a penalty. And these don't have a penalty. So I've said pick up only those records where there is not null. Now if I run it, and I run it again, now see, I only have people who have a penalty. So you have to be careful in the left outer join. What are you doing on the left and what are you doing on the right? And then now, since I only want their name and initials, I'll run it again and your answer should be right. So it can be done, but definitely the first one is more efficient than the other. The first thing itself you see is an extra condition. Anywhere there's an extra condition means more work, right? So why would you do it? It's not wrong, but it's not the best. So therefore I took the smaller table on the left-hand side. I said all of you will find a partner in the P table because it's a foreign key. The player number in the penalties table is a foreign key. So definitely if it is a foreign key, it will find a partner. Here it was not true. Not every player will have a penalty. So very careful of what you do. And you know the best way is do it in steps. Whenever you are using outer joins, try to write it first, see what the result is, then say, oh, I'm only interested in these records, and then fill it in. Because it will happen. I mean, logically, you may not understand it. So it is always better to write the query first, test it, and see what you want, and then add the conditions. Right? And so it's right now. I mean, this is just practice, nothing else, believe me. It comes with practice. Okay, now the subquery. Now, people who have made a penalty. That's not a tough one in a subquery. First, find out who has made a penalty, and then find out their names. Right? That's all you have to do. So first find out who has a penalty. Where is that information coming from? That information is coming from the penalties table. So select what from the penalties table? Player number. It was called TBL penalties. That's strange. It doesn't give it to me. So here is information about everybody who has done a penalty. Again, you could do a distinct because a player may make more than one penalties. You can just do a distinct here because a player can have more than one penalty. So it would be better. If you just want to run this, see, let's pick it up. Run it. So these are all the players who have a penalty. And it's making sense. Remember, there were two were same, and then there were 3 who were same. So it's making sense. So if I don't want to see the player number again, over and over again, put distinct in front of it. Why would I need to see it? There it is. Okay, so now I have the distinct player numbers. Now all I have to do is pick up their name and their initials. Since I've done a distinct there, I don't need to do it again. I mean, why not do it where it is the first? Now from this table, The P is not required. Where the player number is in, not equal to in. Keep in mind why, because it's a set answer. The result of this was a list. Notice it was a list, it's not a single value. So what have you done? You're first saying, find out the distinct player numbers. So these are all people who made a penalty. Now find their name and initials. That's it. Right, so what did I say? I said the name and the initials are in the players, but I only want to pick up those players whose number is in this set. So pick up 6, 8, 27, 44, and 104 and give me their names and initials. So if you run them, you should have the same answer. Uh-oh, unknown column player name. Unknown, oh, because the P is gone. Oops. Remove the P and then remove it from here. There it is. And again, no ambiguity, so you don't have to put P's at all. In subqueries, you don't have to. And there is the answer. Right, so practice as much as you can. I'll give you some practice examples if you want. I have many of them. Right, after I finish, I can give you more, and then that will help you. So your assignment is a kind of practice for your final exam. Keep that in mind. Please take it seriously. Otherwise, it will be tough to do it. So there it is. Okay. So I did it using an inner join, an outer join, and also a subquery. Let's go to the second one. It says find the name and the initials of the players who have paid no penalty. So it's opposite of the first one. A was saying these are people who have paid them, and now you want to find out people who have not paid them. Right? That's what you want to do. And again, do I have some options of joins and whatever, or have I just left it? No, I haven't said anything. So people who do not have a penalty. Think about it. People who do not have a penalty. So the first one, the subquery one, is easy. You pick up the initials of people here. Just copy it here. All you have to do is not in. So these are people who don't have a penalty. Right, so pick up the names and initials of those players where the player number is not in this set. This is your subquery. What about join? This is your subquery. What about join? Now joining of the tables is done on equality, right? Or you can say not equal to. So nobody stops you. You're saying join them when they're not equal. Like you could do it. So if you want to try it, let's do it that way. Okay, so it depends on what you want to do. The outer join will also work. The outer join will work this way now. You can pick up this outer join. And okay, so we want to pick up, we're trying to do a join of the penalties of the players table with penalties. And anybody who does not find a partner are people who did not have it. There it is. Think about it again. What did I do? I said I have to find people who do not have a penalty. So in this case, I have to start from the players table and try to say, do you have a partner in penalties? No, you don't have a partner. So if you do not have a partner, is null means it does not have a partner, means these people don't have a penalty. Right, so here the penalties table, the players table is on the left and the penalties is on the right. I have to start. So this was not efficient in the first one. Here it is efficient. Why? Because that's where I have to start, because I'm saying not penalty. I can't do it with the other way. This is the only way I can do it using a left outer join. So pick up the players table, try to find a partner. If you don't find a partner, that means you don't have a penalty. So therefore, what did I do? I said only if the payment number is null, that means you don't find a partner, it should happen. So try it now. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players here. The rest should be in the other one. So the rest should be there. There should be no common player. Can't be. I mean, a player either pays a penalty or doesn't pay a penalty. So here are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 5. You should have 14 total players. If you want to double check, you have 14 total players in your table. Oh, I have 13. No, that's matches. Oh, we'll have to count these. So 101 minus 88 plus 1 is the math for your information. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 5 people paid penalties. 9 did not pay penalties. 9 plus 5 is 14. So the answer is right. When you see them together, the answer is right. So you know what the answer was for the ones that were paying penalties. You know the answer of people who were not paying penalties. So they should double, when you add them up, they should match. And the same name should not occur anywhere. Right? Can I do it using inner joins? Can I do it using inner join? Let's see. We haven't done anything using inner join, which the equality doesn't hold. So let's try that now. I'm not sure, but I'm hoping it's fine. These were more natural. But now this is not the condition. The player numbers should not match, right? So what is your not equal to operator? That it is in MySQL. We haven't used it for a while. I can't remember. No, yeah, both. You can use this one, or you can also use this one. I think they're both available. In MySQL, both are available. That's the not equal operator. So you're doing a join, but you're only doing joins of people who in which the player numbers don't match. And you don't need a distinct here. And you don't need a distinct here also, because you started from the bigger table, and the bigger table only has a player number once. Right? So you don't need distinct here. In this one also, you don't need distinct. They won't occur more than once. It cannot. Because you're saying pick up from this table and look for a partner in the other table. And I don't think you will need distinct here also. So you're combining players and penalties, but this time you're only combining if the player number is different. Hopefully, logically, I think, unless my operator is wrong. Oh, no, something is wrong for sure. Oh, I need distinct. Yeah, because it combined with all of them. Okay. I need distinct here, not in the outer join for sure. Okay, so what are you trying to do? You're trying to say, take the players, combine it with penalty, but only combine those records with, oh, you know what? Logically, so one player will combine with many of them if it is not equal. This is definitely much less, not efficient. It's not efficient at all. Absolutely not efficient, but it will work. It's the least efficient of all three. Oh, 1, 2, 3, no, something is wrong. Yeah. Because once it combines and one, yeah, there is no solution. Because what is happening is this: the player record is being saying, do you match? No. So it prints it out. Do you match? Yes. Then it doesn't. So nope, this will not work. It's an incorrect solution. It won't. You can do it using join. You cannot. Usually, whenever there is a not condition, it may work, but logic, this one will not work. See, what is happening is this. Now that you see the answer, this is what is happening. Let me explain it to you if it is making sense. Yep, it won't work. Okay, so I have player number 1, player number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Only taking 5 players in my player table. Each number only occurs once. Suppose 1 has paid a penalty once or maybe twice, and then 2 hasn't paid a penalty, 3 has paid a penalty, and 4 has paid, and 5 has not paid. So what does it try to do? It tries to join. Is 1 equal to 1? Yes, does not join. Is 1 equal to 1? Yes, does not join. But 1 will join with 3 because you're saying they're not equal. So when 1 joins with 3, the output is wrong. Right? So it's already there, but now it's also joining because you're saying not equal. So if it is not equal, 1 joins with 3 and 1 joins with 4. Okay, now let's go to 2. 2 will not join with all of them. So 2 will join with 1, 2 will join with 1, 2 will join with 3, and 2 will join with 4. Not equality is what I'm doing. Now what's happening is 1 has already paid a penalty, but since it didn't join, it was wrong. Yep, it won't work, right? That's what is happening. So inner join, there is no solution with inner join. The only solution is with outer join and subqueries. Logically, that's what went wrong. So it combined with 3 and it combined with 4, but it has already paid a penalty. So the answers are incorrect. Yep. Okay. Find the names and initials of the player for whom at least 2 penalties have been paid. Right? So 2 penalties. So which means, okay, penalty has been paid. That's okay. But you have to count how many penalties. And if the count is greater than or equal to 2, then you must shoot them. Right? So first find the penalties, and which we have. We have them here. People who have paid penalties. People who have paid penalties. Again, either one will do. Now we can know people who have paid penalties. Let's pick it up. I can show you all 3 ways, doesn't really matter. It depends, names for whom at least 2 penalties. So people who have paid penalties can be done in many ways. We've already done it here. We've done it using an inner join. We've done it using an outer join, and we've also done it using subquery. And I can show you all 3 of them actually. All 3 will work. In this, it will work. So I'll pick up the outer join just because it's the most efficient. It can be done. There's no big deal. Here. So these are the names and initials of the players for whom a penalty has been done. Right? A penalty is there. So you could have taken the inner join also, really doesn't matter. But now I'm only interested in those people in which the penalty, the counting of the penalty is more than or equal to 2. Right? So this is how you do it. We can put distinct here now because we'll be using group by. I mean, since not put, I won't read it. Okay, now how do you group them? So people have made penalties. So group by P dot player number. I'm not grouping them by name. I'm grouping them by player number because player number is unique, right? Names could be the same. So I group them by player number. I don't want 2 different players to be put together. I want to group them by player number. But I only want to pick up those players in which, remember you're having? So having is to group as where is to from, right? Having the count of these groupings that you've done is greater than or equal to 2. Okay, so having count of P dot player number is greater than or equal to 2. There it is. So find the name and initials of everybody who has made a penalty. Now group them. And if the count of the group, oops, spelling is wrong. If the count of the group is greater than or equal to 2, your job is done. Missed my A. Which table would be better to use? Penalty is where there are more than ones, more than one. Okay, so be careful. Penalty is the table where there are more than one. Can't use P, have to use PN. Because grouping is by PN. Though if I'm saying, yeah, I think both should work. Because I haven't done a distinct completely yet. So this is what is happening. A join is being done. So I've done a join in 2, 3, and 4. So join is done. So a player may have more than 1 penalties and he'll find a partner in the other table, and there could be more than 1 records for a player. Now I'm saying now group them up. Really doesn't matter. I think I can do on both because player number is same. And wherever the count is greater than or equal to 2, show them to me. So I should have 2 answers. One person had 2 and the other person had 3. The rest were only 1 penalty each. Right? Tejbir, if you have to use the phone, maybe you can go outside the class. I won't mind, but I would mind if you use the phone in my class, right? While I'm teaching. There it is. Right? Collins had made 3 penalties and Baker, or vice versa. Collins had 2 and Baker had 3. Right? So find group, count should be greater than equal to 2. I said at least 2. And I've picked up the left outer join because I know it is the most efficient. You can do this grouping by any of the other queries. You can do it in inner join also, and you can do it in the subquery also. Doesn't matter. Right? But the group by has to be done. The problem with subquery is because I have to remove the distinct from here because I want more than 1 record. So if you want to do it, I'll show it to you. It's not a big deal. So let's do the subquery one. And go here. And notice, okay, I can't use distinct. No, I can't. I should not use distinct here. Why? Because that's the main thing. My player number can occur more than once. Let's think about it a little. You're selecting the player number from the penalties table, so it will occur more than once. When it occurs more than once, player names will match. And yep, okay, makes sense. Let's try it. Of course, not yet complete. The grouping by is still to be done. So I'll put a P here because I'll need it now for my, just because I'm lazy in writing the whole name. There. Pick them up, group them, and then, and notice I've used a field that is not even showing here, which is okay. Right? I've picked up a field because I want to group them on player number. And not, there is no distinct in 211, because if I do distinct, then you'll only match once. And I want to match as many times as the person has penalties. So you have the same result now. So it's important how you do it. So I've done the subquery, but I've removed distinct from here. I've removed it because I want the player number to come as many times, because I want to have the combination as many times. So this is using subqueries. Definitely it will also work with inner joins. So let's try both of them. Same answer, right? Same answer. Collins and Baker. Unless there is a syntax. Oh, table is empty.
E and player and O in group statements. Oh, sorry.
Okay, so this is not working. Let's see, why is it not working? Okay, let me try. Let me only try this. I see why it is not working. Even removing distinct hasn't done the job because the player table only has it once. The player table has that information only once. Doesn't matter how many times it occurs. When it tries to join, it just joins it once. What can be done using subqueries. So whenever in doubt, see, I broke it up. I said, show me the name and initials of all players such that they have a penalty. And I get this. That's all I get. I don't get duplicates or replicates. Why? Because I'm choosing it from pairs, and pairs, every record is only present once. One record only occurs once.
Would that be related to what just happened? I got rid of the syntax errors from the subquery, but when I ran it, it didn't show the same results. It showed the field names for player name initials, but it didn't show the same.
Bradley, please, how can I understand such a big question? Like, you're going on, I can't. I have no clue. What I'm doing is what I'm trying to figure out mine. I can't figure out yours for now, right? I ran this query, and this query gave me these answers. So all these players have a penalty, but the group by is not making sense at all because every player is only occurring once. So group by doesn't do anything. Therefore I have a empty table. So this won't work. It won't work. So this is out, right? Because every player is once. What about inner join? Would you like to try inner join? We had done this also using an inner join. So there was the inner join. Let's try there. It should hopefully work. Let's try it. Let's try the inner join. Without the distinct, of course. The distinct takes it away. The distinct is the problem. We want to see it. And then let's group it. So let's only try this one first. The names and initials of players who have a penalty. Yep, okay, these people have a penalty. Yep, that makes sense. And now group them by number and only pick up people who have more than 2 penalties. And there is your answer. Right? Joins, don't remove the word distinct. If you don't have, that only shows it once, I think. Distinct will not cause problems because the grouping is by player number, right? I don't think it will. The grouping is by player number. You're saying group them together, but show them only once. I think it will work both ways, but I'm not very sure till I test it, but I'm almost positive from my logic, but you never know. Yep. Here distinct doesn't matter. All you're doing is the result comes at the end. So you're saying pick them up. So you're basically saying combine them. And if the player numbers count is greater than 2, I would like to see it. And you're giving me either name or either way it won't matter, but it will only occur once, so you don't have to put it. Remember, group by and distinct are the same thing. So what did you do? You joined the tables on player numbers. So they came. Then you said, okay, now combine them. Combine your results by grouping by player number. So you grouped it, but only show me those results where it is greater than or equal to. So inner join will work. Subquery won't. It makes sense because you're picking up the record from the player table and trying to search in the penalties table, and there is only one record for one player in the players table. So there is no grouping by sense. This will work, and this does work. Right? So you have to be careful. Usually, I've done that in my exam, in my assignment also. I've already told you how to answer it. So at least you don't have to think, will it work or will it not work? You know what I mean? In the exam, I'll try to do the same because though I'm testing you on something, I'm at least saying it will definitely work. So if I say use an outer join, it will work. You don't have to put your brains to it. Okay, now let's say it says same as question 1A, but use the exists operator. Just to give you practice, guys. Remember this exists operator, correlated query, correlated subquery. So correlated subquery says that it's like a join in the inner, and then you say, oh, are you present in that particular record? So it's not very easy to do it, but definitely if you have to do it, you should know. And again, I'm just doing it so that you get a practice. So let's pick it up. So this is coming from a subquery. So definitely I'll need this. The select statement definitely I'll need here. So let's select the player name and the initials from, I could use a join, I could use an outer join. I'll do the more efficient one. It's better to do the more efficient one. Both can be done, I'm sure. Okay, here. So it says same as question 1, but use the exists operator now. So don't use the joins and anything. So it is like a subquery. So be careful what we want. This is coming from only players. And now here is my condition. Okay. So the name and initials comes from the player table, but this record should be present in the join of the other two tables, right? So where exists. Think of whenever you use exists operator or not exists, think of it like a subquery, okay? That's how it works. It's just that the inner subquery is related to the outer subquery. So it's like a join. Now, where exists what? Okay, so let's do select. Players that have made a penalty. Players that have made a penalty. Okay, players that have made a penalty. So let's take the player number. Oh, we'll need a qualifier. Okay, so select the player number from the penalties table. Right? Okay, so select the player number from the penalties table. These are players who have made a penalty. Now we want their name and initials. Now, where is your where condition? Where this player number, oops, this player number is equal to the player number from outside. Okay, there it is. It's like a join. The join is inside and the exists is outside. So a subquery and a join put together for your information is what exists. I'll repeat it for you. Look at what I'm doing. In the inner select player number at line number 221, I'm actually making a join of the penalties table and the players table. This is a kind of a join. The joining condition is this. And with what table is it being joined? It is being joined with this table. You can see from the condition. And now you're saying only pick up those players from the player table such that it has an existence in the join. That's how you read where exists. So join the two tables. After you join them, now pick up those records from the player table that have a presence in the joining. So you're picking up people who have a penalty. And only pick up their name and their initials. You could have done a star, but we only want the names and the initials. I think it should work, is my thinking. Oh, table penalties PN. Please see you have a PN here. I'll repeat, where exists and where not exists are a little dicey, but all keep that in mind. What does it do? It combines a join and a subquery. That's what it does. So look at 221. It's a join. You'll say it's not a join. I don't see two tables at all. The join is this table and the outer table, because look at the joining condition. It's saying join those records in which the player number in the penalty is equal to the player number in the player. So join them. And now pick up only those name and initials such that that record has a presence in this join table. Therefore, you say where exists. It is in the other table. And now, will we have duplicates? Will we have duplicates? Player, no, we won't, because we are coming from the players table. And there it is. People who have penalties, 5. So where exists and where not exists is basically a join and saying, are you in that table? Okay, that's what it is. That's how you have to understand it. That's how I understand it. Of course, if it is any different from you, you figure it out. But this is how I have kind of known to understand it, right? I can understand it. So I take two tables. The two tables are table penalties and table players. I join them. And then I say only pick up those records from the player table such that it is found in that join. Right? So it says where it exists, right? So the inner is actually a join because there is a joining condition there. And it is called a correlated subquery because, why is it called correlated? Because the inner is referring to the outer table. That's why it's called a correlated subquery. Okay, so it's basically a subquery with an join and the existence. Should work, and it has worked, right? It has worked. It has given you the same answer. And I didn't put a distinct here because notice 218, 219, I'm picking up the name and initials from P. So P only has it once. Right? P only has it once. In P, each record only occurs once. So I don't have to put a distinct. And I don't have to look. I only have the result once. That's the where exists. I'll give you a break. Okay, give me 1 minute. How many are left? Oh, there are many left. Oh, only 2. Okay. Okay, let's try this one and then I'll give you a break. Right? So that is the only way where you can answer using where. With where you don't have much option. Like it's a where. So it has to work this way. It says get the player number of the captains. Okay, so he's a captain. So somebody is a captain. We want to get their player numbers who have incurred at least one penalty. And it says using a subquery. I'll show you all, but I've said using a subquery. I'll remove it because I've shown you all results. Okay, so these are captains. So the person has to be a captain. So till now we were saying every player, whoever has a penalty, let me know. And at least one is one or more. So basically anybody who has a penalty. Okay, so at least one or more, don't let it confuse you. At least one means that they have a penalty, at least one. Okay, now people who have a penalty but are captains is the question. We already know people who have penalties we've done it in 1A, right? Now this person should also be a captain. That's the added condition on it. So people who have the player number of the captains who have incurred. I'm only asking player numbers, then I ask for name and initials. So let's see. Where is this information? Who is a captain? Who is a captain is here. Table teams. Table teams, right? Table teams is telling me this person is a captain. This person is a captain has to be joined with this players table because that is where his player number is coming from. And then this person must have paid a penalty. Right? This person must have paid a penalty. So let's go one by one. I mean, the first thing to do is basically to find out which table we are interested in. Okay. So this person has a penalty and is a captain. Okay, let's come back. Let's try it. All we want is the player number. So that's an easy one to start with. So I want the player number. And remember, though it's an odd one, the player number is in the field called captain in your table. It's called captain in that table. Okay. Here. Here. It's called captain in this table. This captain, and notice the connection. This captain is the player number. Okay. So I want his player number. That's his player number. That's all I need. Okay. So let's go. And this person has paid a penalty. That means. Okay, so this captain is coming from the table called table teams. This is where this information is coming from. right? But this person must have paid a penalty. It's coming from the penalties table. Right, so pick up his player number from here and see if he's in the penalties table. But the condition is where? Only join them if the captain, which is actually the player number, it's kind of confusing, but that's okay, is equal to the player number in the other table. There it is. These are captains who have paid a penalty. So anybody, we had 5 answers before. 5 people had paid penalties, but of those 5, some may be captains and some may not be captains. So I don't know, we'll double check, but not all 5 players now, only if that person is a captain. And that captain information is coming from here. So look at your captain table, the table that has the captain information, matches, players. So where are you? Table, teams. One, who was who? Player number, come on. Match number, no, not you. Team number is first. So team number is first. Okay, so captains, 627 and 112 are captains. Of this, let's see anybody who's paid a penalty. We don't know who 627 and 112 are. So there are 3 captains here, 627 and 112. 627, 6 is R parameter. So that must come up per mentor. R per mentor should come up, 627. Collins DD should come up, and 112. IP daily will not come up. So what did I do? This is what is saying, this is telling me who have penalties from a previous query that I ran, right? Of these, is anybody a captain? This is a captain. I picked it up, he is a captain, 627 and 112. And then Collins is a captain, 27. 112 is Bailey, but Bailey doesn't have it. So I must have 2 answers, right? I must have 2 answers. So let's go to the query. So these are people who paid a penalty but are captains. It's an easy one, right? Same thing, but all I'm doing is just captains. So, 27 is occurring twice. I only asked for captain number. I thought, oh, where is the name? As soon as you say captain, you think the name will appear, right? And that's right, 627 and 27. I only want to see 27 once because this person has made more than 1. There it is. The question is simply saying people who have paid penalties but are also captains. That's all I'm saying. So pick up the penalties table and combine it with the other table, the teams table. But now it says if the names and initials are also required. Right? There are other ways of doing it, of course. I've used an inner join. I can definitely use a outer join here. What will I do with the outer join? I'll pick up the penalties table and find if they have a partner in the team table. It can be done. Like there are many ways of doing it. Now you'd say if name and queries are also required. So I'll put it for you. It's not a big deal. You should know. You should just know how to do it. I haven't asked it, but I'll do it for you. Okay. I've just said join. So they are both joins. Okay, see here. Let's join. Take your penalties table because there is where the penalties are coming from. Right? There is where the, or can I, which will be more efficient? Think about it. Captains are less than the teams. Okay, so let's do this. So I've said pick up teams because I'm assuming teams are less. Again, right? Again, my assumptions could be wrong completely. I'm saying pick up a team member, pick up the captain from the team, do a left outer join with penalties. And if, now where is your, you can't use a where here, you'll have to use an on. And if the captain is equal to player number, you're okay to go. And I don't need any where condition because in teams, it's only about teams and every team only has 1 captain. There is no repetition. A team cannot have 2 captains. A team has a captain. So there is only 1 of those values when it combines with penalties. Oh, this person could have more than 1 penalties, but I've put a distinct here. So we should be good. This should work. According to me, it should work. Let's try it. 627 and 27 again without the distinct and 627 with the distinct. It doesn't work? Okay, let's think again. Since Yana has already checked it. Take a table team, pick up the captain, find a partner in the penalties. You may not find a partner. You may not find a partner. You may not find a partner. So where you find a partner, who will find a partner? Who will find a partner? Pick up any, say any field. What is the other table? Table penalties. You found a partner. That's what is missing. And you found a partner. Pick up player number is there too. Yep. You found a partner. Is not null. You found a partner. Okay, let's think again. I've used player number in penalties table. Let me check. I'm sure there was. Yep, there it is. Or you can say payment number is null. You can use any of these fields. Doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter at all. Okay, let's try now. Yep, because that condition was missing, right? 627 and 627. Because I've put a distinct. If I remove the distinct, you will just see it twice. 627 and 27, you will see. So see, as soon as I forget a condition, it won't work. Like we can something extra or less or whatever. So I said table teams, pick it up. Pick up a record. Pick up the captain. Are you a player in the penalties table? Yes or no? If it is yes, I want to show it. If it is no, I don't want to show it. So when is it yes? If it is not null in the. So if you miss a condition, definitely your answers will be wrong. But what I thought, oh, everybody will have a partner. No, not every captain has a penalty. So I'll have to do this. And again, it depends on you. You can use payment player number here. You can use payment number. Anything from the second field you can use. Whatever makes sense to you. To me, player number was making sense because I said, oh, you didn't find a partner. Right? That's why I wrote payment player number. Because everything in the second table will have null in that particular. Right? And lastly, so that's join. Okay, you know what? We'll stop here because this will take time then. But at least we have the base ready. Then we have to find their names and initials and so on. We'll just have to add another table to it. We'll do it. It's no big deal. It just takes time. That's all. So we'll definitely be finishing this and we'll see what happens with the other one. So you can take a break, get your lunch done, and then we'll start again. Yeah. What? Yeah, we are finished for. Yeah, we're going for break now. Yes. Do you have a question? Oh, that one. Okay.
Because we don't have a class until next week.
Okay.
So this is what you're
kind of looking for. Yeah, but you didn't have to. All I wanted, you could have already. Yeah, here you could have said. See, it already makes a key, right? So you could have just drawn the key and said that's the primary key in yellow. Yeah. And then the red one was a red one. Foreign keys here?
Yeah, there is foreign key.
Rep number. So why is it turning red?
Because I think
no. Okay, so
sometimes this is not unique. So the foreign key, when it's unique, I think it tends to.
Okay, so okay, look at it. So you've given me everything, right? Okay. That's
yeah,
okay.
And this is relationship, like I think you mentioned before.
Yeah, the one-to-n.
But
yeah.
this is correct because.
Yeah, in this table it could be correct. In the table we were doing it was not.
Oh,
it's not that it's wrong here.
Yeah, but I realized that if it's unique, if the foreign key is unique, then it's one-to-one. But if it's not unique,
then it could be one-to-n.
Yes.
But remember in our table it was one-to-one.
Really?
Yeah, it was. No, it was. It
because
was.
I actually checked every table and it was not.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but the foreign key I had was picking up a primary key from another table. Okay, look at it, but yeah.
Rep number can be like
duplicate. Yeah.
So I checked actually all the foreign keys. They're all not unique, so they're all one-to-n.
Yeah. Okay, I'll check that because to me you've drawn it through the workbench. Yeah. So please ensure that it is correct.
No, yes,
yeah, you have.
That's why you mentioned that I checked, and they're not unique. So the rep number and customer number, they can be duplicated. In the other
I'll double check. I haven't looked at it yet, so I can't tell you whether it's
I don't know if you were looking for like
the no, I wasn't. I was basically looking for what's the key, what's the foreign key, and what's the repeat. 3 things. Okay, which is okay. Yeah, you've double checked that they're all correct.
Yeah, they're not unique.
Okay. Okay, because as I said, I haven't looked at this assignment
yet. No, because
you
mentioned that, and then
it was in one of the table toys. I think it was. It
and
was
then
something.
I checked, and the only unique is 1 to 1, and they all were not unique,
Yeah,
so they all duplicated.
Okay,
So there
I'll
was no
double check.
problem.
I really don't like. I haven't. Once I
Because,
start marking,
yeah,
I'll
when
know.
you mentioned, then I was trying
To
to
take care.
Yeah. Take care of it.
Yeah, of course.
so cold. Mano, essa sala é muito fria, velho. Você procurou uma vez o negócio pra mudar a temperatura? É muito frio, cara. Lá fora tá quente. Lá fora tá bom. Mas que eu sei.
I don't have any partner now, and there's nobody else now. So I'll let you know by end of the day. Otherwise, you'll have to work independently. Yeah, and you took your time, right? So people kept emailing me, and I just finished everything. If there's somebody else, I will email you. Otherwise, you work on it. Okay?
So
Yes.
Yes, yes. But I'll let you know by tomorrow.
Do you know if Sim or Jeet is in class today?
No, he's not here. Email him.
I did at 1:36.
Sorry?
I emailed him already.
Yeah, so that's okay. We'll have to wait for his, he'll get back to you.
Something like this that you want?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll
Except
just-
that since it is not, I won't know which, so if I see a key, is it the primary key or is it the, so you're convincing or something? Because some may be primary and some,
Like foreign key and primary key.
because both of them have the same symbols, right?
Yeah, yeah.
With different colors, that's why.
Yeah, somehow I should know. Right?
And all the cardinality.
Yeah, if the cardinality check that if it is the same,
Exactly.
if it is the correct.
Here is probably is incorrect, right? Because
Let me see, so ref number in your table customer,
it's 1 per 1.
who's the primary? So this is customer number, right? A customer has a ref number.
For the whole PC, this is 129.
Bianca was also mentioned. Yeah, she was saying no 1 to infinity, but now that you showed me,
Because
one customer occurs once, right? This is the prime. Oh, the primary key is ref number here. And what is the primary key here? Is the ref number here? Can happen. Something is wrong.
I think this is a
This cannot be the primary key.
this is a foreign key.
But you
Because
see,
it's
there is
not
no key
showing.
symbol in front of it. How can you say it's a primary key? The primary key is customer number here.
This was done automatically. I didn't ask.
But the table customer number should be the primary key. How can the table customer have ref number as its primary key? It can't, right? Open it up. The primary is ref number. Go to your definition, the one that I gave you, the table. Let's go up. What's the table customer? The definition.
Customer number.
How's it showing that customer number? Oh, so that's a foreign key, not a primary key.
Yeah, it's fine.
So that's strange that it's right on this way. Show it again, show me the other. Can be, because see, here is the primary key symbol. Oh, it's saying I have created indexes on two things. It has created an index on your primary key and it has created another index on rep number.
It's not saying that.
It's not saying this is the
a
primary key. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So now think about it. So customer number, one customer has a rep number, right? So, but customer 1 can have rep number 1, customer 2 can also have a rep number 1, and customer 3 can also have a rep number 3, right? Now think of the relationship. This rep number here, which is the primary key of this table, this only occurs once here, but it can have many partners here, right? Except that it's showing the opposite nature. So 1 here and an infinity here.
Yeah, that's, but you can change this. It's
Yeah, but it is. But why is it doing it automatically? Oh, did you change it? Or what have you changed it
No,
manually?
on my computer it showed.
What was the original one?
Yes, this is the original. This is me.
Changing it. Okay, so now think about it.
But on my computer it showed automatically 1-1.
Right.
Yeah, for everything.
For everything. So
Yeah.
something is wrong, right? For everything. Yana, you were talking about this right now with me, right? So why were you saying it is 1 to many here? It's not 1 to many here. A customer has a rep number, right? What I'm thinking is customer 1 has a rep number 1. Customer 2 can also have a rep number 2. Right? So this should be 1 to many relationship. Not, it's right the opposite.
But can you show me the one?
Yeah, the one that you gave. So the computer is still making it wrong, that means.
Yeah, it's one.
Yeah, customer and rep.
So it's one. This is the primary key.
The primary key is the rep number, but
Yeah.
this one can occur many times here, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this
so
is one
this is,
thing.
so this, did you change it or this is what?
No,
came?
this is what.
So how come it's coming out
I
here?
think maybe they have because I have.
But that's okay, that's a pro, right? The pro means infinite.
Yeah.
So is this the original you were saying? But then it's not, and this is your original?
Yeah.
You didn't change anything?
Or maybe I changed. I don't know. I just played with
This
it.
is making sense to me. One, the rep number one
Yeah, it
can
is
occur
actually.
many times.
Yeah.
That's making sense.
Yeah. It is.
I don't see the opposite, and I don't see one-to-one because customer number one can have rep number one. Customer number two can also have rep number one. I mean, it doesn't say this is the primary key, right? So that means this rep number one can occur many times.
Yeah.
So it is a one-to-many. So this is right, one-to-many. I don't know what's coming up. I don't know what's coming up where. I haven't tried it.
I think maybe I changed it. And
I don't know.
I played with it a little bit.
Okay, so you think about it, right?
But, I mean, logically, I checked.
Yeah, logically you're right. Logically you're right. I mean, I haven't drawn, I must have drawn the diagram, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. I haven't started marking this assignment. So unless I do, I really don't pay attention till I get to it.
When should we give you this?
Sorry?
When shall we give you this?
It says when the assignment is due, right? So what can happen? When is it due? Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday. But we don't have classes.
So by Friday, if you're around, give it to me on Friday. Or what you could do is you could put it on Blackboard for me, attach it, and then when you see me next, give me the hard copy.
Okay then.
So that way I know that you submitted it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that way you are on time. I'll put that announcement on
So
Blackboard.
hard copy we can give you next.
Yeah, you can. I'll put that on announcement so that everybody knows that, because I'm seeing you today and then I don't see you till next time. So,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I'll do that. Okay, guys, let's come back to what we were doing.
Because pretty much are done.
I'll have to talk afterwards because my break is I can look at it. Okay, we can do that last for 5 minutes or whatever. Okay. Okay, so let's start this again. We were doing that. I wanted to know which captains have penalties. So the captain information is coming from table teams and the penalty information is coming from penalties. I joined the two table and I had it. I used a left outer join. It said, okay, teams looking for a partner in penalties. So if they find a partner is not null, that means this person has a penalty. Now the same question says, now add initials, names and initials. So what you can do is you can pick this up, right? And you can add it here. And we want something extra now. We don't want the number. It says add are also required. Okay, so what do I need? We can give the player number and add the name, and the name of the field is player name and initials. Let's add it. We need the player name and we need the initials. Maybe not the number. It just says if name and initials are also required. So I'm kind of just keeping them. If we want to remove them, we'll just remove them. Okay. But it says as soon as you do this, oh, add your third table. Remember the third table was table players. I need a third table because I need name and initials. And as soon as I do that, what do I need? I need another joining condition. Make sense? So when you add a new table, you'll have to see what is the new table I want to add. That's the new table you wanted to add, the players. And as soon as you add the players, we'll have to give it names because and penalties, because these two, the numbers are they have commonality. And then the pn dot is equal to p dot. Okay, so what should match here? The player number should match the player number here. And as soon as you have ambiguity, you will have to kind of, and we'll have to say, no, who are these ones? Which one? This was pn. There. Oops. There. Okay. So the same question, it says captains who have penalties. So I picked up the two tables, the captain tables, which was the team tables. Captain information is coming from there. And I picked up the penalties table and I matched it on the captain number, right? The captain number, it's a number. Now it said also show me the name and initials. So as soon as I need the name and initials, I added them here. And since they are coming from the players table, I added the table here. And since there is a joining condition, I added my joining condition here. So now the 6 and 27 should have a name. Right? I think I know one, I don't know the other, but this 6 and 27 should have a name now. Right? So try it. Try this. We need the names also now. So there it is. R. Parmenter and D.D. Collins. Yes, it was right. That's what we checked. Right? So now we have the name also. So you can always start small and then you can start building. So the same question, the question was, get the player number of the captains. And now I said add the initials. So again, the second solution also you can pick up. Pick up the second solution also. And add it to there also. So now what they want is the player number. Sorry, the player name and the initials. All I have is the captain number. But the name and the initials are coming from the players table. So go step by step. Okay, so what do I want to do now? If the initials are also required. This is the captain number. Okay, not a big deal. Let's try. Oh, the only thing is, do I also need the captain number? Okay, I'll change this. There are many ways of doing it, but I'll do this. So I'm going to say, oh, but that's a subquery. Oh, not a subquery. It says using it. I have a subquery also. I need a join. So the name and the initials of the captains. Okay, let's try. I think I know how to do it. It's not a big deal, but let's try. The name and the initials of the captain. Names and the initials of the captains. And oh, we've done that before. Okay, here we have it. I'm going to write it again just because I'm thinking as I'm writing. Okay, so select the name and the initials of the player. Okay, of the player who has a penalty. Okay, so who has a penalty. So these persons have a penalty. Do a left outer join with the table, not you, the other one. TBL players. Okay, so these people have penalties. Right? These people have penalties, but they should also be captains. There's another condition on it. These people have to be captains. So these are people who have penalties, and the joining condition, of course, is missing. Okay, so what is the joining condition? The joining condition is on. Okay, penalties and players. Penalties and players. Penalties and players. Okay, penalties and players. So penalties, your player number is equal to your player number. Okay, makes sense now. Okay, that's my join. What isn't it like? I don't know, what isn't it like? We'll see. Why is it complaining? I gave my initial player. I don't know. Let me complete it and then see if it still complains. Okay, so get the initials from the penalties table, join it with the players table, but this person should be a captain also. Okay, so let me think. Let me think now. This person should be a captain also. This person should be a captain also. This person should be a captain also. I'm only join, not a subquery. I'm thinking I can do it using a subquery, but if I have to do it using join, then all I can do is inner join. And we'll have to join this with the table TBL of captains, team tables. Team. Was it called team? Okay, so the table was called table teams. Because information about captain is coming from here. And an on condition. Okay, so the error has gone. Maybe just the semicolon is what it would require. And the condition is that T's captain should be equal to the player's player number. Okay, there it is. Hopefully, I'll have to kind of look at it again. Okay, let's look at it. So I want the initials, and if you want to keep the captain number, nothing stops you. You can write captain here. We'll have to see if we get duplicate results. Okay, what are we saying? We are saying, oh, the captain is not in the penalties table. Oops. Okay, let's try one by one. I'll see how to get the captain number. Okay, what am I saying? I'm saying pick up the penalties table and left outer join with P, and whoever has a penalty, get his name and his initials. That's fine. There's nothing wrong in it. That query I've already done. 1A or B, I forget. So these are people who have a penalty, but they must be players. They must be captains also. So what did I do? I did an inner join with the other table. From the teams table, I did an inner join and I said join if the captain is the player. Right? That's what I did. Now I'm trying to see. So what do we have? 6 and 27. Okay, so 6 and 27. Give me a minute, Bradley. Okay, so distinct is required, but we need the captain number. Or if we need the captain number, where is the captain number coming from? It can come from anywhere. T dot captain. Okay, let's try. So this distinct will work. It is working, except I see Collins twice. So because the captain Collins has made 2, so distinct will work. But how do I show his number? Can I show his number? I'm doing a join. Join of penalties with the players. Join of penalties with the players on the equality. Why not? I think I can show it. It's not a big deal at all. Let's try. I have his number from here. Not a big deal. Yep, okay. And then distinct in front of it. So if you only wanted to show the name and the initials, then you don't need the T captain. But I'm kind of keeping the same question as before. I'm showing the captain number also. So what did you do? Find all people who have penalties, but only pick up those who are captains. Right? So the first 3 lines are saying pick up everybody who has a penalty. Pick up their name and their initials. And then once you have them, then only show me those people who are captains. And where is that information coming from? I did an inner join with the T table. Right, so 3 tables were required. The first one, of course, seems simple because we put everything together. Because I've done this one and I know it's more efficient, I went with this one too. So remove this one. Yes, Bradley, now I can answer your question.
Sorry, it's just I was asking about the duplicate values, but it seems you've already answered the question. So
okay, right, so we'll put distinct in it and it will remove it. Now comes the subquery. The subquery says, and there are more ways for doing it. It's not the end. I'm just doing what's coming to my head. Oh my God. Now the subquery. He should be a captain. Oh, that's an easy one. And name and initials. The first one is easy. He's a captain. Okay, so he's a captain. So select. Just the number first. Okay, the number is easy. The number is easy. So when you start getting names, then you have to think of another table. So I just want the number first. So select the captain from the teams table such that this captain number is in the other table. Select player number. Remember that it is player number. It's called player number from the TBL penalties. There it is. There is the subquery. Just the captain number first. Get the captain number of captains who have paid a penalty. So I said select the captain from the teams where the captain is in this penalties table. So he's a captain. He's in that penalties table, so he's fine. Okay. Now name and initials are also required again. And using a subquery. So name and initials. Oh, okay. Not a big deal. Name and initials come from where? Name and initials are coming from the table called players. Right? But this player number should be a captain, which we already have. Okay, so where player number, is it player number? Yeah, is in. So it's a set that is coming. Yes, it's a yep, it is a set that is coming. And here, pick this up. It's a captain. We already have it here, and put it here. And put it here. There it is. The name and initials from the table players, and this person should be a captain in the teams and should have paid a penalty. Sometimes queries seem much easier, right? It's just that it's doing 3 queries. But again, as I said, you have to just think. It's not always that, oh, queries are easier, so they are more efficient. You just have to think what's more efficient or not. And again, just do a little bit of reading up, please, because there's quite a bit on the web about it. And there is no rule. There is no rule at all. It depends upon what you're trying to do. So again, what comes to my head at a particular time, I tell you, but maybe there are more ways of doing it, okay? I mean, I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. I just, whatever comes to my head, I do it. So since we already had the first one, all I did was, oh, I know who it is. All I have to do is get their names. So kind of, therefore I went in steps. I said, oh, you're basically a captain and you have a penalty. Tell me what your name is. So I could do it this way also. It is lengthier. So I kind of went the other route. I said, first find who has penalties, and then if he's a captain. It could be done another way. It can be using this one also. And it should work. So we should again have 2 people. There it is. The subquery. I'm checking the subquery. Oh, so this is the number and this is the names. So it's right. Right? The advantage of subquery is you can write a subquery, run it, works, then you plug in another one, run the 2 runs, then plug in the 3rd one and runs together. That way you can do it in steps. Right? With join and outer join, you have to kind of think in your head a little. That's the difference. So I mean, I had the captain number. So all I did was get their names and their initials. And be careful, I'm looking for player number is here. Okay, now what does it say? It says get the numbers, names, and initials of the table players I think I did a control F and replace. Therefore, players became of the players who are older than R per mentor. You can assume that the combination of name and initials is unique, right? So there could be another person called R per mentor, but it's saying don't worry about it. It's saying you can assume that this name is unique. So you first do what? You get his birth date. And then you want to find all people who are older than him, right? And then give me their names and their initials. He says the solution should not display R per mentor. I don't want his name. So the subquery says, what does it say? Anybody who's older than. Okay, so let's first find out who is this per mentor, what is his age, right? So let's select his birth date. Remember, we have a birth date. It was called birth date. From, and this is coming from TBL players. The birth date is in TBL players. So anybody who's older than this, anybody who's older means that person's birth date should be less than this person, right? If the birth date is less, that person is older. So if I was born before you, I am older. Okay, so anybody who's older will have a birth date less than this. So first find out the birth date from this table where the player name, the field was called player name, is equal to, and you can, as it said, you can assume there is only one because there is no other way otherwise to find out whose age. And initials is R. You can trim it if you like. You can say trim. That kind of takes care that, oh, if it is there, it's kind of extra brackets are removed. So this is the birth date of R per mentor. So if you run it, there it is, right? So he was born on 25th of June 64. Anybody who's older than this guy has to have a birth date which is less than this value. Am I right? Less than this value. Yep. Anybody who has less than this value. Okay, so now let's find out who is less. Numbers, names, and initials. Numbers, names, and initials. All three. So number, name, and initials. Right? From the table players. Such that this person you are picking up, his birth date or her birth date is less than this birth date. There it is. All these persons are older than our mentor. You can show the birth date also if you like, just for the heck of it. So this guy was 6425. I'll just show it here so that we know that the answer is correct. Then we won't have to go and peek in the table. Right, so we'll run, remember it's 64, 25th of June. I'll forget myself. Okay, so this is our mentor's date of birth. So anybody who's older will have a birth date less. Okay, and I've just shown the birth date to look at the answer. We'll remove it because it's not asked. Anybody who's older. Seems like everybody, no, not everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people are older. So 2 are younger. So all of these birth dates, look, are less than 64. And so they are all older than our mentor. Right? They're all older than our mentor. I could actually do it using a self-join also. I'll show it to you. You can use a self-join because you're looking in the same table. See, I'm looking in the same table. Both tables are same. You've done self-join before, but like I'll do it again for you, the self-join. And I'll do a join also. Makes sense? So find out the birth date of per mentor and then find out everybody who's older than that. Okay, so the join will involve self-join because you're joining the same table. Okay, so let's do it. That is, I mean, join, how will you do a join? Join, I only need one table, so it has to be a self-join. Okay, so I want the name, the number, and the initials. The name, the number, and the initials. Hopefully you haven't forgotten your self-joins. So I'll remove the birth date now. I mean, you can keep it if you like. It doesn't matter, but. Okay, so whenever you use the same table, you'll have to go something like P1. I mean, you could call it whatever, but you will have to give it a name. Okay, so these are the 2 tables I'm interested in. The table with itself, right? Now, what is my joining condition? My joining condition says the birth date of the first person. Okay, so now we'll have to kind of qualify these also. You can qualify it with what? Okay, P1 dot, this person's name, and this person's initial. Keep in mind we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people are younger. Okay. And now your where condition. Your where condition says that P1's birth date should be less than P2's birth date. P1's birth date should be less than P2's birth date. And because we still have to have that condition, the name, and the player's name because I said I don't want to see the person again. I don't want to. How will I do trim now? I think I can. It is no. Uh-oh. Let's think about it again. So this person should be younger. And the player's name should be Parmenter and the initials should be R. I think so it should work. Let's double check. So this is saying the birth date is less. That's okay. And I haven't said greater than, equal to. We want younger, older than this guy. So I haven't done an equal. And I've said the name of that person is Parmenter. Should work. So we should have 10 records again, 9, sorry. And if you can remember, Everett, Wise, Newcastle. Okay, I can remember 3 for sure. Oh, it says, oh, I know what it is saying. How silly. You have to do a trim afterwards, not first. Okay, here. Trim is a function. Trim is a function. There. So trim you do afterwards. Okay, now my answer is gone. I'll do both of them together. Okay, so there is the guy with those who are older, and we have the same one here. Same answers. Right? So this is another example of self-join. We did one in clowns, if you remember. In clowns, I did an equality. You may have to do equality, you may have to do less than, you may have to do less than equal to. Now in your assignment, I've said give me pairs of cities or something. And I've said this, it should not occur again. For example, if I've written Barrie, Toronto, I don't want to see Toronto, Barrie again. The sequence, so be careful there, you'll have to put an extra condition, right? So it's saying, show me a pair of cities only once. So Barrie, Toronto should not occur again as Toronto, Barrie. It's the same pair. Here, there's nothing here. I didn't have to do anything yet, but because I was doing a self-join and I know I've given an assignment, a question in the assignment, maybe you haven't even looked at it yet, but be careful whenever you do a self-join, you have to name the tables. Definitely you have to give them alias name because they are the same table. And my condition is taking care that P1's birth date is less than P2's birth date. I'm taking my first table from where I'm picking up all those people who are older than the R parameter in the second table. And therefore, notice my AND condition in 285, it says player name of P2 should be equal to R parameter. So the name is being picked up from there. So you pick it here, your birth date is less than there, and the person's name is there. Right? So this is what will happen in join. There is no other way. Like, I mean, self-join. I just said join, it's a self-join. Do you think I can do it using, I don't know. No, I don't know. We're saying try to find a partner. I'm thinking left outer join for a minute. I mean, this is the first thing that came to my mind. Pick up, are you less than that? I could try. I mean, it's a roundabout, but I could try. But this is a more obvious one because you're joining it with the same table. Right, so that's, again, I'm not claiming that I'm doing each and every solution. I'm trying my best, right? I'm trying my best to give you whatever I can. There could be other ways of doing it. Your advantage is that in your assignment and in your exam, you will be specifically asked to do it a certain way, so you don't have to put your brains along. Can I try this way or shall I try? I've definitely done it in my assignment, right? I've said use a join or use a subquery. I've already said that. Use an inner join, use an outer join. Who's done assignments? Henry, is that? I've said use inner join or use outer join in my questions. Yeah, so it's very specific. So at least it gives you, like, you know what should be the answer. So you try it that way. I try it every way. When I look at it, I try to do it every way. Just so that I can show it to you. That takes care of the sports one, right? There were only 4 queries, but we did answer them in quite a few ways. Okay, so that we've done a few things here. Hopefully you can remember all these. And again, if there is anything new in the assignment, please look it up. I've asked you for an all operator and an any operator, if I can remember. Look it up because it will help you in the exam also. Okay, it will help you in the exam also. So I haven't done it, doesn't mean you don't know it. You've done it in the assignment if you do your assignment. Okay, okay, so that's done. I'll put it on Blackboard when we are done. Now it's the last one. We just have the last one now. No, not the last one. The last one from your thing. Bear scripts. And I'll save it as. And we'll do it without the BB. Anybody still without a partner in this class, leaving Chow? Anybody else looking for a partner still? No? Okay. If I hear from somebody, I'll email you, okay? But if I don't, then I'll email you. Today is the last date of sending me an email. So I can kind of keep, if somebody comes back and says, oh, my partner is not replying back or something, then I'll link you up, okay? But right now, there is nobody. I think everybody has a partner as far as I know. Like everybody who's emailed me, I've looked them up. Okay, so you start working on your own, and if there is nobody, I'll accept it, of course, because I couldn't find you a partner. Okay. Okay, now this one says, this is on beer scripts. This is a beer script. It's telling you information about beer. So hopefully, again, something that you understand better than me. So I've again used my InnoDB. I have stuck to it because foreign keys, that's what you do. So it says to create a database, some tables therein, populate them and extract information from the tables, right? So again, we are extracting information. We are just doing joins to do it. I haven't again done any commenting here because, as I said, by this time, if you are doing it good, if you're not doing it, then I can do nothing about it. You know what I mean? Like, I've tried my best. So let's go through this now. Okay. Any questions on the assignment if you looked at it? I said I would answer any questions on the assignment if you had any. I'm not even sure how many of you have looked at it. Like, I have no clue, right? I don't know if it's too early. Any questions on the assignment or can I go on? Are you okay? If it's one question, you have just one. So if you already have a solution, I don't want to answer it here. You know what I mean? If there is a clarity with the question.
Clarity.
A clarity, okay.
You're saying pair. Pair means like more than two, right?
No, pair means two. A pair means two.
There is like three.
So pair means I can pair with you, I can pair with.
No, but you're saying CD, right? Like find a pair of CDs.
Yeah.
But there are three records also, not only two.
Then you will pair them up. Toronto will pair with Barry. Toronto can also pair with
No,
what?
the same name. Pair is the same
No.
name, huh?
Yeah, pairs is the same name. Okay, so let's see. What was it? Summer 2017. Let me answer a question that has been asked, and if it will help everybody, that's okay too. So this is your group assignment, right? This is not your in-class assignment. Oh. Okay, give me a minute. Let me think. Where did I put it? I can pick it up from Blackboard. That would be the easiest. Did I put it in class? Okay, there it is, the group assignment. So I open that up. And I open it up. Okay, and I'll have to open up my table also, because if I'm answering questions, I better open up my table. So the premier table is somewhere. Now is the big question, where? I can pick it up from somewhere else. Am I placing them? Oh, there it is. There is it. It's just in a different folder. Okay. Okay, so there is my table. So notice I have removed my drops because I didn't want to kind of go into all that details. If people are working on remos, then that's their problem. Okay, now which one are we looking at? 5? Okay. Here, 5. For each pair of customers located in the same city, display the customer number for both customers, customer name, and both customers and city. Okay, it says you will need a self-join. Okay, so customers must be in the same city. Now let's go back to saying what you are saying.
So, I mean, pair means like maybe more than two, right?
Yeah, one customer number. Yeah, so if this customer, so suppose I am also in Berry and you are in Berry, we both have it. And again, if I am in Berry and Chow is in Berry, we also see that pair. And if Chow is in Berry and so are you, we see 3 pairs. You and me also pair up. I and Chow also pair up, and Chow and you also.
So it's kind of duplicate?
No? How is it duplicate? Me and you once, not twice. Yeah, duplicate could be this way. When you self-join, the joining condition will be my city is equal to your city, right? That's the joining condition. My city is equal to your city.
No, like I'm showing like Barry is customer this, this, and this. Like,
no, that's not what I want. It says, the question says, I want to see the results such that these customers are in the same city. They live in the same city. And I want to see their names and their numbers. So the output is this. So suppose you and I are in the same city. So myself, you, I see this pair. I don't want to see the opposite. I don't want to see Yana and Anjuna. That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't come again. But these people live in the same city. I also live in Berry. I also live in Berry, and you also live in Berry. So where is the city? Here is the city. So you are going to do a self-join of the 2 tables.
Yeah,
right?
but based on the city, right? So Barry has me, Barry has someone, Barry has...
So suppose I am in Berry and you are also in Berry. This is one pair. I am in Berry and Chow is also in Berry. That's another pair. And because you are in, and this is a 3rd pair. That's the answer. This is what I'm asking. Pair of people who live in the same city.
So Yana can appear twice.
Oh, Yana can, what I don't want is this. This is the same pair. I don't want these two pair twice. This is what I mean. So group of people who live in the same city, but don't show me this twice. It's the same information, right? Yana Anju written at C1, C2, or Anju Yana written, I don't want to see them twice. That's what I mean, no duplicates. This is no duplicates, and this is fine. This is all fine. See, look at the question again. The question says, for each pair of customers located in the same city, display the customer number for both customers, customer name, and the city. Right? So my number will come, my name will come, so will your number come, your name come, and the city will also come. But I don't want to see these two records again. I don't want to see the same record twice, showing Anju and Yana. I don't want to see that twice. But of course, this answer is correct if three of us are living in the same city. Right? That's what it means. So it says, use a self-join, ensure that a customer does not pair with himself also. I don't want to see Yana and Yana also. Because when you try to join, be careful. You're joining on city same. So Yana and Yana, I don't want to see this too. This doesn't make sense. I don't want to see this, and I don't want to see the same pair twice. It will come. Try to do without anything and see how it joins on cities. First try joining the two tables on cities. Look at the output. Okay, and then you will realize, what do I mean by I don't want this pair? Of course I don't want it. When you join on cities, Yana will join with Yana, Anju will join with Anju, and Chao will join with Chao. Our cities are same, right? Then I don't want to see this pair twice. And I don't want to see this. Absolutely, I don't want to see the same person in the same place. Okay, so that's what I want. So you just have to put a condition, an extra condition. That's all you have to put. Maybe say something like the first customer number is less than the second one, the first one is greater than, then the same pair will not occur twice. You see what I mean? So the customer numbers should be different.
And so pairs has to be horizontal, not vertical.
What do you mean by extract them? Like, I want to see customer number 1, customer name 1, customer number 2, customer name 2.
Okay.
And then city you can only show me once because it doesn't. So here, this is what I want.
Okay.
Right?
Because I thought you were vertical.
No, so this is, suppose you were 1, your name. Suppose I was 2, my name. And then suppose we are in Delhi. Right? And then again, customer number 1, Yana, now pairs up with Chao. And again, I don't show me the city only once. If I haven't said anything, that's okay. And now Yana and Anju have paired up. Yana and now customer number 2, Anju pairs up with Chao.
Yeah, now I understood.
Right? This is what I have. Okay. This is what I have said in 5. Yes, Bradley.
My situation has several problems. So I created a self-join by using.
I'm not telling you the solutions, please. I'm not talking about solutions here. I'm talking about anything that's not clear in the question. I can't discuss solutions in the class. It's an assignment. If you're stuck somewhere, talk to your partner first. If you both cannot figure out, then you come to me and I'll give you a little push.
Right. Well, so far my partner has.
That's okay. That's what it is then. It's not due today. You still have time, right? It's not due today. You still have time to do it. And now the printed copies. I've asked for a printed copy of the diagram, of the ERD. And you see me today and then you see me next Wednesday or Tuesday in Java or whatever. What you can do is I put it on announcements. You can submit the soft copy, right? If you have drawn it by hand, take a JPEG and put it on Blackboard so that I know you've done it. And then when you see me next Tuesday or Wednesday, then do it. But I need a hard copy so that I can put my comments on. And I'm just forewarning you. I don't know. I have no clue. I haven't done it yet. It may happen that the workbench doesn't create the correct ERD. So just double check, right? By reverse engineer, it may not create the correct one. If you're drawing it by hand, you're drawing it by any tool, it doesn't matter to me at all. But for me, the relationships should be correct. So double check. Just don't say reverse engineer and give me a printout. It will not work. And tell me what the symbols mean. I don't know the key is a key. I have no clue. Don't assume I know anything. So I've said, please clearly tell me what is the key and what is the foreign key and everything. See that it is there. You can use color codes if you like. You can take a color printed print copy, and then you can tell me red is the primary key, yellow is whatever. But I need to know. Okay. So I'll do that. I'll put it on announcements. Please submit the soft copy just if you don't see me, and then bring me the printed copy next week in class. But I'll only mark printed. I'm not looking at the soft. You'll say, oh, I forgot, then it's forgot. Okay, you know what I mean? Like I'm not marking it otherwise. I'm only taking the soft copy so that you don't have to search for me in the college.
So when you say you do by hand, you mean like draw it?
Draw it. It's up to you. Draw it. I give you the option. Draw it. You do it using Word. Do it using whatever you like. Therefore, I did it on paper. Some people want to do it by hand, and I wanted to see on paper. Okay. So draw it and then take a pic of it and then put it on blackboard. Okay. Okay. So anything else in the question clarity? Any other question that is not clear? So it's very clear. Please see where I've said use an outer join. You use an outer join. Where I've said use an inner join. Use an inner join. Where I've said use a self join. Please use a self join. So it's quite clear in what it wants of you. You are most welcome to do anything extra. Plus don't send it to me, please. Only send me what I've asked for. Okay. And I only want you to put the question answer number. So say answer 1 in comments and give me the answer. I don't want you to put the question for me. And of course, rest whatever it says, you have to comment it or what, that's up to you. You don't have to comment the answers in the sense, this is doing this. No, I just need the answer number. Okay, yes.
So not only do we have to make the questions, but we need to label our answers.
Where are the questions? You're not putting questions into the worksheet. I've already said that. I've already said, please don't put your questions. I don't want you to copy these questions for me. I know the questions. The script becomes so big, and then when there are errors, it creates a mess for me. Don't do it.
So hypothetically, since I clear number 9, I just need the number 9 there, not the whole question.
No, just the number 9, right? Just the number 9. I've said it somewhere. I'm almost positive I've said it. Here, in bold. I don't need you to copy the question into the script, just the solutions numbered correctly. That's all I want from you.
And as soon as I've done all the questions, I'll give you the questions and leave the answers.
Whatever works for you. I don't want to see those questions.
It just helps me to identify.
Yes, of course it helps you. That's perfectly fine. You can put them whatever you like. When you give it to me, please make it neat and clean.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So before the questions, everything needs to be commented, every doc section. And then in the solutions, I just need the number. That's all I need.
So I'll be doing this. I don't know if you mentioned it, but do both of us in the team have seen?
No, it's already there on the assignment, only one submit. That's fine. Only one submits. And if you have to resubmit and resubmit and resubmit, the same person keeps resubmitting. Right? So one person takes the job of submission. As many number of times as you like, doesn't matter. I'll pick up the last submission till the due date. You can submit as many times as you like till the due date. I'll pick up the last submission. Both of you don't give it to me. I'll just then check randomly. I'm not sure who submitted it last. I have no clue. I won't do that. It takes up a lot of my time. And don't leave me messages, oh, check the other one. No, just remove it. One person per group, as many times as you like till the due date. I'll pick up the last submission. Okay? And please follow instructions. It's a big assignment. I don't want to waste my time just looking for stuff. I want the answers, answer 1, answer 2, answer 3, and that's it. That's all I want. Okay, let's come to Beard scripts then, if there is no other question on the assignment. Okay, let's start this. So what does it have? And then we'll go from there. Right, so I have some tables again here. I have a database, some tables. So tables about brewers, who brews the beer. Then the cases, what cases are available. Then information about beers itself. See the name property. It's a reserved word, so it comes in blue. And then the cases, in which case, which beer is available and what is the price. And then comes the table of sales. How many sales were made on which date. Date is again a reserved word, therefore it is in blue. Again, I've just copied it. I'm not changing it. I didn't take the time to change it. It's okay now. So here are the tables. So Molson, Labatt, Miller, and Muskoka are the 4 brewer companies. And then case sizes are available in 6, 12, and 24. And in the table beers comes the name and then the brewer ID. Who's the brewer of Canadian, Export, Blue, 50, so on and so forth. I have no clue whether they're right or wrong. I don't drink beer at all. I have no clue at all, but I've just copied them. And then here comes information about sales, cases. What case is available in which case number, what beer ID, and what price. Right, so here are the prices. And then what sales were made on which day of which case ID and what quantity. Right, so these are all tables. So if you run them, if it runs, it should run completely if there are no syntax errors here, and then it should just show you the table. So those are the brewers. Then comes the beer information. Then comes the case information. All tables are in third normal form. That's why you see so many numbers everywhere, because they have that common connecting table. Always when you have two tables and you want to join them, there will usually be a connecting table in between. Now, as always, let's go and create the reverse engineer and go to next and DB beers. There it is. Double check that the previous one is unchecked, the sports one. Otherwise, you'll have too many. And the next, and the finish. And I again repeat, I'm not saying anything. I'm not sure at all. I haven't double checked anything. But I repeat that please see that you look at the relationships when you give me the diagram. You kind of double check that what it is saying is correct. So if it shows a 1 to infinity relationship, it can be a crow's feet also, but you can, the cardinality is the relationship 1 to 1, 1 to many, many to many. This is called the cardinality of a relationship, right? So again, I'm not seeing the data or anything, but from here it's telling me what the primary key is, what key is not null, and what is index is. Index, let me tell you, I've mentioned this before also. It is saying that I'm creating an index on the primary key. Index is like an index in your textbooks also. If you go to the end of the book and you have to look up a word, you search for that word and it tells you the page number on which it appears. That's exactly what it does also. It creates a sorted list, a sorted index on the primary key ID. So that when you say something like select ID from this, or you do joins or whatever, it uses your index to quickly search it. That's what an index is. So index is like an index in a book, which is sorted. If you go to the end of a textbook, notice how your name, whatever you're searching for is sorted. Otherwise, life would be so difficult, right? To kind of search for something. So it's a sorted key. It has a sorted table, you can think. It's not a table, it's on a column. And it says, that's what helps me to look up. And it's easy because anything that's sorted is easy. So it may have one or more indexes, but I noticed that here, see? So it says I'm going to create it on a primary key also. I'm going to create it on case ID also, and I'm going to create it on the beer ID also. So that's what it says about indexes. Okay. So here the ID is the int, but it has also created one on beer case ID. I think it does one on foreign keys also, is my thinking then. Is that what it is? No, it's not. So it creates indexes to make searches faster. That's what it does. It will definitely make one on the primary key. There is no doubt about it. Because you've said, oh, this is my primary key. It says, oh, it's your primary key. You will be doing searches based on this. I'm going to create an index on this. But it has also created indexes on case ID and beer ID. And I'll have to look up why did it do that. I'm not so sure. I'm thinking, I don't know. I really don't know. Or maybe, is this ID in beer cases a foreign key? No, they're all yellow. Okay, so I don't know how some property of the storage engine then. Look it up. How does it create indexes? You can create your own index also if you like by using a statement. And I forget what it is, but you can say it. I think you say index on. That's the verb. Index on, and then it creates an index on that particular index. So on primary key, definitely it will create an index. I'm not sure why it has created index on other fields, but you can also create an index by saying index on. I mean, you will learn more about it in your second course, I'm sure, because I remember doing it as a student, but I've never taught that course, so I'm not sure what we do in that course. Okay, so now let's start answering queries. Again, help me or bear with me, right? You only have two options. It says, show all the brewer names. So names of the brewers. So always open up your diagram. I would take a printout when I'm doing assignments or tests. In the test, you cannot. Maybe in the test, you can always create one, but I don't know if you can take printouts and do it. You know what I could do is to make your life easy. How many of you find it easy working with ERDs? Not all of you have started, but working with ERDs is kind of easy to me at least. So maybe I'll do this. When you do the exam, I'll put the ERD on the projector so that you can see it. Right? So that way you have access to it. I'll do that for you so that, I mean, you don't have to keep dancing on your laptop from one window to another. So I can give you that option. I mean, I don't want to take printed copies. Okay, so it says, give me the brewer name. So the first thing is the name is here. right? The name is coming from here. So this is one table definitely I need. Okay, so go back. It says, let me read the question so that I don't have to keep dancing from one book to the other. That way I know where to look. Okay, so show all the brewer names and the beer names in one list. So definitely beer name is coming from the beers. Here, there is the other table. So I know which two tables to compare, to select. So all the brewer names and the beer names in one list. Okay, no big deal. Let's start then. Okay, let's see what is common. The brewer ID here is equal to the ID here. Notice they have different field names. So by using this type of notation, it also gives me this connection of which field is linked to which field. And then I don't have to worry about are the names same or are the names different. Okay, so let's start. Select. So the name and the beers. The name and the beers. Okay, so the name is coming from the first table. Oops. The name is coming from the first table, and oh, there are two names. Okay, so I'll have to qualify them. I'll just call it, there are both B's. Okay, what can we do then? Brewer for BW and beer for B. Both fields are called names, right? So now from your table brewers is called BW. Comma or whatever you like, inner join. I'm sticking to commas today just because I've been doing inner join for a while. There, those are my two tables. So the brewer name is coming from the brewer's table. The beer name is coming from the beer's table. So I've kind of said, I've done a join. Show all the brewer names and their beers. That means the beers they manufacture. I mean, that's what I mean by their beers, right? So definitely there is a joining condition. You can't use on here, so you'll have to go to where, and the joining condition is easy. You say BWs is equal to B dot, and what should be the same? The same we just saw was B table. I think I should get a B table has brewer ID and ID. Okay, there we are. So this table has ID and this table has brewer ID. Okay, that's my joining condition. And again, it's up to you. You can order it. And just to show you that we can order it, we'll just order it by, you can do it by anything you like. You can go by the company name. You can go by whatever. So inside the brewer, I'll do beers. I hope you remember the 1-2, order by 1-2. Order by 1-2 means the first field and inside one, the second field. Right? This one means the first field, this second means the second field. You could have repeated it. They were single fields, but I kind of left it. If you want their name too, which is nice because both of them are called name. And again, if they are single names, you can simply go like this. If they are single names, you don't have to put them in quotes. Of course, as is optional. Whatever makes sense to you. I usually stick to quotes because then I don't have to worry about changing the names. So it will show me the brewer name and it will show me, because both of them were called names, so it would have been very unclear. Which name am I talking about? Now there it is. So that's the brewer and that's the beer. So Labatt does 50 and blue, and then Miller does all these three, and Molson does this, and Muskoka does this. And I've ordered them. Order automatically is ascending, and within the first one is the major key and the second one inside is the minor key. So from 50 and blue, 50 will come first because 50 occurs before, the number 5 occurs before blue. It's smaller than blue, the capital blue. Just for your information, small letters, then the numbers, and then the capital letters. That's the sequence. Right, so I've ordered them. You could have ordered it either way, doesn't matter. You could have written the name again, doesn't matter. Okay, I can only do a join here. You know what I mean? Like there is no other thing I can do. There's no left outer join that I can think of here, because the left outer join says here but not here kind of stuff. I want which brewer brews which beer. So the information can be done using join. Of course, you can use the word inner join, and that's up to you entirely. Just because I have time now, I can do an inner join here. This is a smaller And when you do, I'll use on here just so that you know. You can use the word brewer and beer here if you want. I don't know if you've tried that before. If they are single words, you can actually use them in your order clause. Since they are single names, see how they are single names? If they are single names, you can use them here too. That's the advantage of using single names. So if you want to put up a note, if you've forgotten all these things, these are fields, field positions in select, in the select. These are alias names in select. And you can only use them only if single word. Then you can use them. Or of course you have the third option. You can always do this. You can repeat the word. You can just repeat it again. You can repeat the field name again. Whatever makes sense to you. So you can go 1, 2, you can go the name, but the name, alias names in select only if single word. Only then can you do it. You can't use it if it is more than one word in quotes. Because I called it brewer and beer, I could use it. I can use 1 and 2. 1 is the first field, 2 is the second. I can use bw.name and b.name, the names of my fields. If it was a computed field, I could still use it. It was just more writing. So whatever makes sense to you. All of them should give the same answer, of course. Whoops. All answers should be the same. It's the same query, right? So 2 Labats, 2 Millers, 2 Molsons, and whatever. So there is the join. I mean, that's the only thing you can do in this. Why? Because it's not a subquery I'm answering. It's not if this is present, then this. I can't use an outer join because I'm not saying here and not here. You know what I mean? These are two tables that are not kind of related to each other. I'm just saying which brewer brews which brewer. That's my question. Right? Otherwise, they're not kind of related as contacts are related to jobs or the one that we just did. Players are related to pan and piece. It's not that kind of relationship. The information is unrelated. There is information about beers and there is information about brewers, but of course they are connected by who is doing what. Okay, all case selections. It says names of beers, case sizes, and case prices. I want all case selections. Which beer is available in which size and what is the price of that beer. Okay, so which beer is available in which size? Okay, so definitely not the brewer's table, that's out. Definitely not the table beers, that's out. Cases tells me the size of the case and the ID of the case. So the size is coming from there. That size is related to beer cases where it has a case ID and a beer ID. And the beer ID is coming from the table beers. Right? So which beer is available in which case, and that case size will come from here. And what is the price? The price is right here. What is the price of that case? So the name of the beer, in which cases is it available, and what is the price? So you'll have to kind of think of it. The beer name is coming from the table beers. This ID has to be linked with the cases to pick it up from the cases table, the beer ID. From the beer ID, we pick up the case ID. From the case ID, we go to the cases. We pick up the number 6, 12, and 24 from there. So 3 tables are related. This one, and this one. Not this one. This is sales. Which one was sold? And not this one. So these 3 tables are related. We have to pick these 3 tables. Right? And because it tells me the ID here is called the beer ID here. The case ID here is called the ID here. So you have to be careful. That's why I find this diagram to be most helpful. It links lines, fields with fields. Okay, let's go. Let's do it. All case selections, names of beers, case sizes, and case prices. So select. So again, if you want to know what they are called, the name is coming from table beers. You can write them here. You don't have to even give them. Okay. The name is coming from beers. The size is coming from table cases. And it is called size. Again, you can give it name like beer name or whatever. Do that, it will just be neater. Okay, beer name. This is the case size. And we need a third table. We also need the price. Sorry, we also need the price. And the price is also coming from beer cases. Okay, so I'm just picking it up. And because I've written it, it's easy. Table, it's called, give me a minute. Beer cases. And the field is called price. There. So the name of the beer, the size of the beer, and the price of the beer. Okay, and remember this case size is this one. We said we would need 3 tables, and I've picked up the 3 tables. Table cases, I've picked up the size. Table beers, I've picked up the name. And table beer cases, I've picked up the price. So 3 tables and joining conditions. So let's do the 3 tables. We know the 3 tables. This is my table number 1. Doesn't matter, the sequence doesn't matter. Table number 2. Uh-oh. Table number 2 and table number 3. There. And now the joining conditions, right? And the joining conditions are, again, since it's not as clear as whatever it is, I'm going to go one by one and you can take it with me. The table beers ID should be equal to, just see how they are joined. Cases beer ID. So the diagram will help, okay? I keep diagrams, of course. That's one condition. And just put your joining conditions. So table beers with table beer cases beer ID. Table cases. I can't remember them. You have to look up the table. So you can use whatever table you like. I kind of stick with that's the second one. And again, if you want ordering is always good for eyes. And you can order it whatever way you like. It depends on what you want to do. I'm just ordering it by, and again, it's not necessary that you have it ordered by the fields you want. I'm going to go with the name of the beers first. And I'm just putting them just because I have them. Then I'm going with the size. And then, of course, I don't have to mention the third one. Oh. I'm assuming their prices will not be the same, right? It's a different size, 24, whatever, 12 and whatever is the size, they won't have the same price. So you can put a comma price, but it's kind of useless. You know what I mean? Like, how can 2 different cases, unless there's some same, I don't know. You can put it, but that's how I've done it, right? So we want to show the beer name, the case size, and the price. So the 3 tables we knew, and then all we do is how do we join them? And to join them, you look at what's common between them. So whatever was common here, I put it. Whatever was common here, I put, oh, there's a third. This is not, okay, so this is not even related. So these 3 tables. So notice, why do I have 2 conditions? One this join and one this join. So 3 tables, 2 joining conditions. 3 tables and 2 joining conditions. So the table will help you to kind of, the ERD will help you. That's the whole purpose of the ERD. And there it is. So it is saying that the beer 50, again 50 will come first because all others are in caps, start with the cap. So 50 is available in 12, 20, 12, 24, 6. No, sorry, 12 and 24. I'm saying 6. 6 is for 6 and 12 and 24, and then 6, 12 and 24. So within beer, it is by case size. And then there is the price. And in price, you can always put $1 if you like here. You can always put $1. There it is. right? So choose the tables, choose the fields from the tables, and then the joining condition, and spit it out. And this is an easy one. This beers is an easy one because they're kind of individual tables. You know, not one is present in the other. The other ones were tougher because there were connections. There were different kind of connections between them. Okay, so they're all by joins. Okay, add the brewery into the case selection list. Oops, okay. So in the same list, I also want the brewery, who is brewing it. So as soon as I say who is brewing it, which I need an extra table. Oops, okay, we are done. How many are left? Oh, only 2 are left. So it's not a big deal. If you want, I can complete it afterwards and put it. But this one is simple. It says add the brewery. So it is just adding something there. So we want to add a brewery also. So we'll add another one here, the table of brewers, and we want the name. And there. Right, so it says add the brewery into the case selection list. So if you want the name of the brewer, you definitely need one more table. And the table is called table brewers. Now, as soon as you add another table, there has to be a joining condition. And that joining condition is .id and .brewer ID is the same. And now if you want to kind of go ahead and use this one also, we can put this one here. So this was an easy one. I only had to add another field. The field was coming from a table, so I added the table. Since a new table is added, I have to give a condition, which I added here. And then I did an order by on it also. So to the table that you have here, if you kind of look at the output that is right now showing on your screens, it will also add the brewer's name. That's all it will do. Right? So the selection remains the same. All it does is add the brewer's name. And there it is. So all the bats come, then all Millers, then all Molsons, and I'm not sure if there were more. I think they were, and then all Muskokas. Right? So 3 was just a corollary of 2. And it kind of makes sense that you joined another table. And then we'll show all beers. And their 6-pack prices. So I want to see all the beers and their 6-pack prices if they have any. Not all beers are available in 6-packs. So it's not a tough one. Price is coming from here. Is it available in a 6-pack? Is coming from there. Okay, so 6 packs. So name is coming from here. Case ID is coming from here. What is the beer case ID? What is the question? Is it only saying price? Yeah, only the price. That's not a tough one. Okay. You can leave if you want. I can do it next time, or I'll complete it and put it on Blackboard for you if you are in a, I mean, I'm assuming, but I'll do it and then finish it off because otherwise I'll lose it. You know how you kind of forget what to do? Okay. So all beers. If you have a class or if you have a job or whatever, you can leave if you like. That's one. The name of the beer. And the 6-pack prices. The 6-pack prices come from the cases. The price is coming from here. And since it is a 6-pack price, I'll kind of give it a heading. I'll give it a heading. Right? So the name and the price of the 6-pack. And definitely who is what and what is here. From. That's one. The same 3 tables we did before. That's 2. That's 3. So we've kind of joined these 3 tables before also in your first. Oh, I have an error here. Unexpected table cases.
Maybe it's because of the space between the comma and the
Wait, please wait. No, that's not it. Oh, semicolon. Thank you. I was just picking up the conditions so that I didn't have to repeat it. Good, I was here so that I can see it then. This is the condition I wanted to pick up. The table beer's ID is connecting with beer ID of the beer cases, and cases ID is, and the table cases ID is related to the case ID. We have done this before. We've said, but I want an extra condition here. And there, that's the extra condition. We already have the name and the cases and the prices actually, but I'm only interested in now picking up whatever is only present in. Are my fields all right? Yep, fields are all right. So only for 6 cases prices. Oh, semicolons are missing, and so 6-pack prices will come up only. There it is. The beer name and the 6-pack prices, if any. Right, so an extra condition, that's all. That's all you require. And I've used commas everywhere. You can, of course, use the word inner join and do it. Instead of comma, you can use inner join. Nothing stops you. You can use on or where, whatever you like. Right, so this was an easier one. Just because the tables were not tightly coupled, right? That's why it was easy. So pick up the fields, pick up the tables, put the joining condition and any other condition, and you're okay. So we have next week. You will be doing joins and subqueries for sure. What I think I'll do is I'll give you more for practice or like a review for your final exam. Or if I have anything left, I just have to check up if I've covered everything. If I have something else, I'll do that, and then we'll do that. Okay. A little bit of, I think, views. I kind of recollect something on views. I've missed it. But otherwise, I've covered everything in your course. So we'll do a little bit of review next week. Okay. So if you're ready with your assignment, which you will have done and submitted, I can discuss the assignment with you. Even that will help. Doing that assignment will help. Like, keep in mind that this doing the assignment is very important, guys. It is very important. It will help you do your assignment, do your final exam. So maybe I'll pick up the assignment to review. That will be a good review for your exam. Okay, and if I have anything left, I'll double check.
Well, so far, synergy still hasn't been.
Sorry?
My partner still hasn't.
That's okay. I mean, not everybody is, as you know, he sent me an email. I've sent him an email. You can wait. It's the only thing you can do. And if not, we have another partner who's ready. But I've told you, you keep working. Worst come worst, if it doesn't reply, I'll still take your assignment. You know what I mean? Yeah, because you're not to be blamed if he doesn't reply. Okay, so you know that you're doing your work. Yeah, I've already told you from day one.
Yes, I've got a
Actually, my
big chunk
partner
of
is
it.
not replying. I'm trying to contact him.
Who did I group you with?
He didn't group with anyone. He was happy.
He's in our class. So if you made your own partners, I'm not sure how it goes.
Okay, so yeah, I was like, I will email you this evening if he didn't reply.
So where did you pair him up? Did you meet, or did I pair you up, or he was in class and you
He was
just
in
paired
class.
and you just paired up, right?
Yeah.
And then after that you did try to contact him?
decide it, yeah.
No, I didn't decide it. So, okay, so it's you, right? So if by today evening you don't hear from him, you email me, and we have Chow who doesn't have a partner, and I'll put you with him. But that's your responsibility, not mine,
Yes,
right?
that's why I was saying like I will email you by this evening.
Yeah, I mean, but then you're responsible for leaving him as a partner. I don't want him to come and say, oh, she was ready to partner and she went away. You know what I mean? So clarify.
Yeah.
CC me on the email if you like.
I will text him and all if he.
If you email him, CC me on the text
Yeah.
so that I know what's going on.
Okay, and I need
need some of your time for the ER guide, if you have any.
Yeah, any time in my office hour?
Okay, do you have time after this class? Like,
No, I have to mark some assignments and somebody's already taken up time. Is it a long thing or a small?
no, just ER diagrams.
Do you have it? Do you want to ask something out of it?
I want to like one-to-one and one-to-many relationships and the.
Okay, I can explain them to you, but I have Henry to answer, so I don't know how
come
much.
tomorrow in your office.
Yep, that's perfectly fine. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, Yana?
Yeah, you mentioned at the beginning that you will give some kind of practice.
Yeah.
And you're gonna post on Blackboard?
Okay, I will. I may take a
Because
couple
we
of
already
days.
done the assignment, so.
So you just want to practice more? Yeah, I have to. I remember I made 2 up.
Yeah, so if you give just.
Yeah, you
so
can just practice. Okay.
And you're gonna post on like special like file, whatever, in your Blackboard
For what?
For the practice.
for practice.
Oh, you those 2 files?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it on Blackboard and then I'll let you know. Okay. Just email me so that I don't forget.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Say, can you put up the practice review questions or whatever? Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So you know I'm in Friday class, right?
Okay.
Friday CT class.
Okay.
And exam will be, I will be taking my exam on.
So have you shifted to Wednesday for good? You've been coming in this class now for a while
Yeah.
because of your job?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to stick to this class then?
It's on you. Like, will I be able to do the exam on Wednesday?
Yeah, you can.
Because I think there's different portals, right, for different classes.
What do you mean by portal? Different questions?
Yeah.
The complexity will be the same. The Wednesday won't be easier or tougher than the Friday one. It will be the same kind of questions. So you don't have to worry about which day will be easier.
But how can I be accessible to the Wednesdays?
Oh, that will be fine. I'll put it on Blackboard. Don't worry about that. That's fine. So you want to stick to Wednesday? Send me an
Can
email because you've been taking classes here.
Yeah.
Since when have you been coming in Wednesday classes?
4 classes.
Okay, so stick here then, please. Then. Okay?
Miss?
You can tell me, okay?
Right.
Yes.
So regarding the object-oriented assignments, you said you're going to be posting it after your section 2 class
Which assignment?
for the
Oh,
inheritance.
yeah, no, I haven't yet made it up. It will come, don't worry.
Yeah,
I'm still working on it.
Yeah, my main goal is finishing this assignment, but I don't want to fall behind in that course either.
Yeah. Yeah, but I know because you're working on this assignment, I'm taking it a little easy. Okay?
Right.
I know you guys are working
Yes.
on this assignment, so by this weekend, I'll get the
Yes,
Java
speaking of
assignment
which,
ready.
if I can figure out troubleshooting with the ERD diagram, I'm thinking of doing a print screenshot, then printing it, and then adding additional facts. If my partner doesn't reply, I'll let you know.
Thank you, Bradley.
Have a good day.
Thank you. I'll vacate this, okay?
Not a problem. At your leisure.
Okay. Give me 5 minutes, otherwise I'll forget to put this and then there will be havocs. It's Wednesday today. Okay. So what do I have? Okay, so this is week 12. Are we looking at only one question or what time are we looking at? Okay. So many things going on that I lose track. Okay, so give me, if I forget this, then I will not be able to remember it. So it's Wednesday today. Joins and subqueries. We did beer today. And we did sports today. Anything else? We did 2 queries, 2 scripts today, right? Okay. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. You can go. Oh, no, don't save it.